And Grumgur's Tavern is open again for the next installment. Last session, the party was investigating the city, looking for rations and everything before they decided to set out to the Whispering Desert, out to their north. Looking around town, they encountered Lee, they encountered Simon, kind of handing out rations throughout the city. They decided to also hit up the cloak shop, essentially just a basic tailor, to purchase some cloaks before venturing out into the desert to protect them from the heat a little bit. After that, they took a weird trip over to the butcher shop. The man had a freshly skinned deer. They wringed out the hide, gave it to Traston for a couple gold pieces, picked up some rations along the way, their trip out there. Then they took another trip to the leather worker, where they argued for a little bit on the inside and then purchased 3 water skins and left. They decided to make another stop at the Temple of Moradin to get a little bit of rest, kind of relax a little bit before they set out to this desert. I got hair in my face. During this time, Neptune and Jacob both made their way out to pick up some kindling for some fires, possibly later down the road when they are in the desert camping out. Jacob tried to start a fight with Elred. Elred tried to punch him. It was this whole debacle right in the middle of the entire temple where everybody was visibly angry at what was going on. Traston finally walks out, gets super pissed, and they stopped fighting temporarily while Anna started cooking her deer roast. While that was cooking, they decided to get a drink from Emery, the head of the temple's secret stash. Anna and Jacob have never drank alcohol that strong before, and they passed out. After that, Neptune decided to join in a little trick that Elred had planned, filling a pot up with water and trying to place Jacob's hand in that pot while he was passed out to possibly urinate himself, which he did not, unfortunately, but Neptune's quick thinking, he grabbed Jacob's arm as Jacob woke up out of a startling slumber and got punched in the face for it as Jacob looked over into that pot, saw a face, and just punched him. After that, they decided to get one good long rest in before setting out into the Whispering Desert. Cloaks in hand, and in the attempt to chase after the individual that Jacob spotted probably be about a day prior now. And the attempt to find Sidolphus and his crew. Making their way into the Whispering Desert, they started to feel the ground rumble beneath their feet as they're making their steps in this very porous material of sand. A few miles down the road, the rumbling gets much louder. Anna instinctively dodges out of the way as this gigantic purple worm just leaps out of the ground, similar to what you would see a dolphin in the ocean, just straight up as it consumes Traston. Spikes all along down this worm's back, kind of prevent it from moving properly. But Traston, completely consumed by this worm. We'll start the session there. I'd like everybody to roll initiative for me.
Ten.
Jacob.
Mine's a 27.
Anna, 27.
1 second. There it is.
Okay. And Elrid. What is
Still waiting
yours?
on my fucking character page to load.
Neptune, what is yours?
14.
14. Elrid, your mod is +3 for initiative.
And with advantage as well.
With advantage.
There
If
it
you-
goes.
I was gonna say if he had dice on hand. Traston, what is
13.
yours? 13. Alrighty.
Okay. Initiative. Okay, well, we're going with 13 because the other one was a natural 1.
13 for Elrid. Alright, so I'll take it up to Anna first.
Anna's gonna shoot at the big derpy derp.
Image loaded up so everybody can see. Image? That
Daryl?
image. Yes.
Did you remove her hunting rifle? No, there it is.
No. I did not touch it. Move some
Okay,
people around here.
Just making sure.
Oh, just make sure.
There.
Just don't.
And you said you're going to take a shot.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and roll your...
That's a natural 20, so that's a 30 to hit.
Catch 20. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll damage and double the dice.
Okay, so the dice is 6, 8, 16, and then +4, so 20 in damage for the first shot.
Okay. And you have 2 attacks?
Yes. Second
Alrighty.
attack is a 24 to hit,
That will hit.
and then the second one is 9 points of damage.
Okay, you doing anything with your bonus action?
Yep, I'm gonna shoot him with a little firebolt.
Okay. Go ahead and roll.
That's a 15 to hit.
That does not hit.
My firebolt fizzled out.
Your firebolt just kind of whizzes by it as it kind of contorts its body around the firebolt, kind of seeing where it's going after getting hit in the side of the, what you believe is the head, with 2 separate rounds, kind of making little, about quarter-sized indention as the bullets just kind of pass completely through his body. So, that will take it up to him. Okay. With Traston in tow, he is going to... He's gonna basically walk up to Neptune. He's within range still. You're gonna see him pull his tail out of the ground, and it looks to have this sharp, fine point on it. The point on the tail is about 1.5 foot long, and he's gonna try to poke Neptune with it. And that is a 31 to hit. I'll say that hits Neptune.
I think it's pretty safe. Pretty safe.
Pretty
to say.
safe bet.
Is Neptune not here?
Neptune was here as of about 5 minutes ago. Let me see.
Here.
Neptune's here.
So that is 16 points of piercing damage, and I need you to give me a Constitution saving throw. You just succeed. So, gotta get some more dice out. That's 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. And 15, 20, 25, 30, 38 halved to 17 points of poison damage. Yes. And he's going to look over at Elred as he's kind of the next biggest target, and he's going to try to bite Elred as it just kind of opens its jaws. These spikes around its what seems to be mouth just kind of open up wide, kind of like you see a shark open their mouth, and try to give you a good old nibble. That is a 22 to hit.
That'll hit.
Alrighty. That is 20 points of piercing damage, and I need you to give me a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. And I'm assuming since I could see the
Yes.
attack, I get advantage, correct?
Yep.
Oh, well, don't need it. First one was natural 20. But
Okay.
We'll see. Yeah, the second one.
So it seems
Yep.
to still have kind of got a bite of your shoulder, but as it tries to completely consume you, you manage to kind of get out of the way before it completely closes its mouth around you. So,
Close one.
he is going to take him and Traston and move about 20 feet back just to kind of get his distance. And as he's moving away, you see this very large divot. It's probably a 10-foot diameter in the sand that's just left out in the open. So, that will end his turn, taking it up to Neptune. What are you doing?
Let me see what we got going on. Where am I at here? I'm the blue dot.
You are the blue dot. And just for your knowledge, based off where the sun is currently off into the west, he is protruding a shadow about 30-40 feet to the east. Your right hand side would be the worm's left.
Okay. Well, being I gotta enter his shadow before I can step because I'm not in shadow, right?
You are not.
So I will go and walk into his shadow, and then I'll shadow step to him to get advantage
Okay.
on my attack. That would be with Whisper, be a 25 to hit.
That will hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
So knowing Traston's inside of it, do I get sneak attack?
No, because he's not technically... He's not in your line of sight for that to be a thing. It'd be
I
the
just
same
thought it
thing
was
as
funny.
if he was on the or you were on the inside and asked if, since Traston's outside, does he get
I mean,
sneak-
I'm just saying, technically Traston is an ally and he is within 5 feet of him, so I feel like it could go either way.
It's fine.
Say that he's not a threat.
Right.
True,
I
he's
mean,
in his-
I
he's
mean, listen,
food.
all I'm saying is we all saw that scene in Hercules when he got swallowed and then he cut the thing open from the inside. So if you're saying he's not a threat, you need to catch up on your Disney videography.
You're gonna spoil Traston's escape route.
We all knew that's what he was planning.
I'll have to find that dice later.
And what's the damage on that?
I'm getting it. I dropped
Okay.
it. It went underneath my desk somewhere, so I gotta go find it. With damage, 4 plus 7, 11 damage.
I hear one of the
Alrighty.
babies.
11 damage as you just kind of try to cut Traston out, knowing that he's in there, but your knife doesn't seem to get deep enough to even break its skin that much.
Okay, then I try to pump it full of electricity with my gauntlets.
Okay. Go ahead and make your attack with your unarmed. Obviously with your gauntlets, but unarmed.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure this isn't gonna do it, but it's 12 to hit.
12 to hit does not hit as you just kind of dodges out of the way a little bit. Just catching your hand a little bit on that spike that's on his side there. Seems to be pretty dull. It doesn't actually cut your hand or anything, but...
And wary of my opponent, I'm going to spend a key point to take the dodge action as my bonus action.
Okay. Or you can't because you shadow step.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
yes, you
that's
can.
right.
No, you can't.
No,
Yeah.
you're right.
You can't.
Shadow step is a bonus action, so I can't. Alright, so I stay there.
Okay.
I can
End of
try
your turn?
and move, but yeah, that should be it.
Okay. So, that will take it to Elred or Traston, whichever of you would like to go first, since you rolled the same.
I yield my time to Elred.
All right. So I saw where. Well, I saw him get eaten. I don't know exactly where in the worm he's at.
Correct.
Do I see any squirming from inside the worm?
To do that, you would have to use your action to kind of look over the worm.
I'll use my action to do that.
Okay. Just go ahead and give me a perception check.
Give me a perception when I'm trying to investigate something.
Well, you're trying to look and perceive where it is on the body.
17.
17?
That'll be the luckiest roll I get all night, considering that one has no bonus.
Roughly in the middle. It's close to the part that's on the ground, where the worm's just kind of slithering about, kind of like a snake. You see what looks like the skin just kind of elongate out a little bit and just kind of get pushed back in, like the tip of a spear just kind of poking at it. But that's really the only thing you see in regards to where Traston might be.
Okay. I'm going to use Action Surge.
Okay.
Find it, mark it off. Okay. And then I'm going to... yeah, I'm going to Rage.
Okay, bonus action rage.
And I'm going to run up to it, and I'm going to aim for that spot, trying to cut open that part of the worm. Or probably
Okay.
aim a little bit above that spot, just to make sure I don't cut him best I can.
Okay, go ahead and roll your attack.
Can I use my Swords of Effect? A chance?
The big boomy effect?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
Sorry, Traston. Gotta get you out of there somehow, buddy.
You're
Alright.
not sorry.
I'm not.
Never be sorry.
Alright, so that's gonna use all those die, plus the attack.
Yes. Well, the 2 hit doesn't add that die. It's when you hit, you can use the charge.
No,
It's
I know.
damage. Yeah.
I know. I'm trying to determine. So, do I activate it on hit? I know you made this one.
Right,
so
right.
Is it activated on hit or is it activated beforehand?
It'll be on hit.
Okay. So if I hit, I can activate it. Okay.
Similar to a Divine Smite, yeah.
A lot better than I thought, because that would really suck if I missed.
Yes.
I am gonna reckless attack.
Okay.
Really want to get him out of there, and let's just.
Very
go ahead
great
and-
weapon mastering as well.
Probably not.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
attack with advantage.
Screw it. Let's do Great Weapon Master as well. Yeah, attack with advantage.
Okay.
Yeah. Did I said I raged, right?
You did.
Okay.
Yes.
Just making sure. Okay. First roll is going to be a 19. Second roll is going to be a 23 to hit.
That will hit.
Okay. Okay, and hold on. I'm just gonna make a quick custom thing so that way it's easier to do this from now on because it's. We'll just roll manually. See. Okay, and 2d6. Well, okay. That's a lot of die. Okay. 45 points of damage.
Okay. As you take your newly found power and just kind of try to slice Traston out, you hit the worm dead square right where you were aiming, as it just erupts in this elemental flurry of just everything you could possibly think of. It's like a rainbow as you hit it. Combination of the fire, the ice, the lightning, the necrotic, the radiant, all hitting it all at once, as it just kind of creates a little mini elemental explosion there.
Will you allow me to have Elwood say, Traston, get the hell out of here! And then just hit that spot. I know sometimes that to say things in combat, you want to use actions.
I'll allow this. As you cut him there, it made a pretty deep gash. It's probably 6 inches deep, but you still can't quite see inside this thing.
Oh, I forgot that was with Great Weapon Master. I subtracted the hit, but I didn't have the damage. 55 points of damage.
Okay. Still.
Okay. Yes.
You managed to make a pretty deep cut inside of this worm. And as you yell for Traston, he does manage to make out the muffled screams of what you said. But it doesn't seem to have completely cut through the creature.
Gotcha. Okay. That'll be the end of my turn.
Okay. So that will take it to Traston then. Stuck inside the worm. See how much damage you're gonna take right now. Yep. That is 17 points of acid damage as you're starting to be digested a little bit.
Okay, all right. What do I see?
It's
What
dark.
do I hear? What do I feel? Can I am I able to shimmy? Do I feel like I can move or no?
No. You're very tightly compressed inside of this. Almost feels like somebody's got a grip on you, just holding you in place. And you're completely blind. You can't see anything. It's completely dark. In technicality, you're considered restrained and blinded.
Okay. Excellent. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and do what I do best, and I'm just gonna try to reckless attack, just flailing about, stabbing blindly. Shield still in hand, as tight as I can hold on to it.
Okay.
That's 212, so 21 to hit.
That will hit. Go ahead and roll your damage.
6 points of piercing and 2 points of radiant
Total of
for the first one.
8 damage there. Okay.
Second one. Oh, that was close. 20 total to hit.
That will hit.
Okay. That's going to be 10 points of piercing and 4 points of radiant.
Okay. As
Bonus action.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No. Just grab.
Okay. As you're just kind of poking around blindlessly, as you continuously poke, the light at the end of your spear kind of illuminates it there for a second, where you just kind of see the inside of this worm, the essentially intestinal tract that you're kind of going through, with rocks and dirt kind of surrounding you as well, from where he just burrows and eats his way through everything.
Okay. I'd gather probably this creature most likely does not understand common or the vernacular of my companions.
You would be correct.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and cast Compelled Duel on the creature. Do I technically see the creature?
I would say if you can attack it, you can compel it. You're inside it.
Stabbing it like
You're getting to know the worm very intimately, so you should be able to fuck it stay up.
And that's a save, isn't it?
That's a wisdom save, yep.
I would say disadvantage from him because he...
Doesn't know you're trying to do something inside of him?
You're inside him.
There's really no way for him to dodge this, but...
This sounds very awkward.
He fails. So...
Okay. He has disadvantage on attack rolls on creatures other than me. Must make a wisdom save every time it attempts to move to a space that is more than 30 feet away from me. That shouldn't be a problem. If it succeeds... yeah. And then... one thing that I did not know about the spell is it ends if I attack any other creature, if I cast a spell that targets a hostile creature other than that target, or if a creature friendly to me damages the target, or casts a harmful spell.
Well, then it's about to end.
Okay. So, end of your turn. With the damage you dealt, I have to make a save here. Save. So, still confined inside this worm while he is attempting to figure out how the hell he's gonna hit you from the inside. So, I assume that's your turn since you can't really...
I have no movement now.
Bonus action?
I'm going to shimmy in place for 30 feet.
Okay. You're gonna waddle in place for 30 feet. Got it.
Waddle, waddle.
Waddle, waddle.
Waddle, waddle.
So, that will take it up to Jacob.
How far away am I from it?
You are probably 30, 35 feet.
Alright, move me up close to it on the other side of Jojo.
Okay.
I'm gonna put my hood up too, as a bonus action, by the way.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna attack it with my flame tongue dagger.
Okay. So, sneak attack. Roll for attack.
Nat 20, so 28 to hit.
That'll hit. Yeah. Thought I was rolling good today. Apparently not.
Good enough.
So 19 doubled is
38.
Then I'm gonna spend a key point to stunning strike it. It's a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. That is a 17. Or no, wait, I'm sorry. That's 22.
Oh yeah, that'll save there, bud. I'm gonna go ahead and hit him with my flame tongue dagger again.
Okay. Roll to hit.
23.
That'll hit. Worm is just getting butt fuddled.
That'll be 8 damage that time.
Okay. Do
And
anything
then-
with your... You did the bonus action for the hood. You moved. You did 2 attacks. Next.
Can you move me about 2 spaces over on the other side of the worm now? I have enough walking speed. I have 50.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I'll end my turn.
Alright, end of your turn. With the first hit that you did, you hit it right in the gut, kind of where Elred had cut it earlier, as you just start to see it kind of expand and contract itself, like it's trying to go inside itself, and it comes back out as right where you were standing a few seconds ago. You just see it completely regurgitate everything that it has consumed recently as Traston falls out, covered in this acidic substance and dirt, as the sand is just sticking to his body from this internal juice. So,
That's nasty.
That's really gross.
And that'll take it up to Anna. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna shoot him with my big gun.
Okay, you using sharpshooter or anything along those lines? Any grit points or anything like that?
Yeah, I still don't necessarily understand grit points.
So you remember how your arcane archer had the special abilities?
Mm-hmm.
Very similar in that aspect of you consume it and you use that special shot, so to speak.
Like superiority dice and things like that.
Right.
Okay. So I'm gonna use Deadeye Shot to gain advantage on the roll.
Okay.
Because it's an 18, which I think will hit, but I want to try to...
Okay.
Natural 20! Yes! This is the perfect example of Deadeye Shot. Yay! Okay, so that's 13 points of dice damage, so that's what, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30 points of damage for the first one.
As you just continuously shoot it right where its face should be, as it's kind of rearing
I'm not
back.
making it up. Look at my screen. I'm not making it up.
This is...
That's two natural 20s back to back. Because I just rolled my second shot and got another natural 20. I will screenshot incoming for those who don't believe will say it's photoshopped.
Go ahead and roll your fucking damage again. This is stupid.
I can't roll advantage again. There's nothing higher than a natural 20.
No. I mean your damage die. Just roll it. Demeaning my big stupid worm that was supposed to hurt.
Okay. So, cool thing about D&D Beyond is apparently when you use the dice roller and you get a crit, it automatically doubles your dice damage. So that's 30 points of damage for the second one.
As, again, same spot, same hole, just different trajectory, as it looks like you kind of curved the bullet as it kind of goes down inside the worm's stomach, and you see the bullet exit out near the front where Traston had just came out of. You don't know how you did it. You don't understand it. The worm looks to be pretty rough in comparison to what he was 3 seconds ago.
So, after 2 natural 20s and learning how to curve a bullet, Angelina, if you're listening, call me about the wanted sequel. For my bonus action, I'm gonna try for a firebolt again.
Okay.
And that's a 20 to hit.
That will hit.
And then that's 2d10s of fire damage, so that's 13 points of fire damage.
Okay. As the fireball just kind of hits it as it opens its mouth, almost looks like it's breathing fire as the firebolt just kind of explodes internally, kind of searing the inside of its mouth. So, it's at the end of your turn.
Which little dot is she? Is she the red one?
Yes, you are the red dot.
I'm gonna move like 10 feet up. And then that'll end my turn.
Okay. Wormy is absolutely pissed.
Well, I critted on him, so...
Not happy whatsoever. You checking compelled duel again just to make sure. Disadvantage attack rolls against creatures other than you must make a wisdom saving throw attempts to move to a space more than 30 feet away. Okay. The creature. Okay, so completely gone because of the attacks. So he is going to rear that tail up again, and he's going to try his damnedest to hit Elrid right square in the chest with it. That is a 19 to hit.
That'll hit.
I'm gonna use my reaction.
Oh wait, he has disadvantage before you go through that because he's no, he doesn't. Never mind, I forgot. Compelled duel's gone.
Yep.
Okay, so
I'm gonna use
go
my
ahead.
reaction to use Divine Allegiance and take the damage myself instead.
Okay, so
Elrid looks so genuinely concerned.
that's not a D6, buddy. So that is 21 points of piercing damage,
Okay.
and I need you to give
Alrighty.
me a Constitution saving throw.
Excellent.
Bye, Traston.
Traston!
It just stings a little bit. So the con save. That's gonna be a 19 total.
Just succeeds. Gotta add up all these dice.
It always makes me really nervous when he says things like, all these dice.
See, I like to.
Anybody else get nervous?
I like to just
me?
let me just go ahead and roll damage, and then grab like 50 dice in my hand, and you just hear the shaking.
So that is 43 points halved to 21 of poison damage.
Yeah.
And then still, so the reaction, is that for the rest of the turn or just that one attack?
That's for I believe it's for an attack.
Okay.
Let me double check real quick here.
Just want to make sure before I choose to eat Elrid again.
Whenever a creature takes within me takes
hungry.
damage, that damage is taken to myself instead. So I'm guessing it's just for that one doodad.
Okay. So this time he's going to try to eat you again, Elrid, as he kind of opens his mouth, and you kind of still see a few embers that are kind of burning near the inner cheek lining where Anna had lit him up. That's a 30. That's
Was that a natural 20?
no,
Okay.
that's just him. So
Yeah, that's gonna hit me. That's gonna smack me.
is almost max damage. 22 plus 9. 31 points of piercing damage. And I need you to give me another dexterity saving throw with advantage because you can see it.
It's
And he
bad.
is with it. You get a +3 because you're around me.
Yes.
What was the save again? Dexterity?
Dexterity.
Okay. Alright, and you said I get +3 from you, Traston?
Yes.
My aura.
So, hold on, let's see here. So it's gonna be 25.
That will succeed as again You see exactly what it's trying to do, and you reel away, and he just kind of bites down on your left arm as you turn away from him, still dealing some damage, but still not quite consuming you, as he is really looking for a snack. And he's going to... You're going to see him kind of go almost straight up in the air behind you guys. Well, in the opening between Neptune and Jacob in the back there. And he's going to burrow down into the ground there. As you see...
Just a flying sandworm. No need for concern.
Yes. As you see this giant hole just kind of open up right into this, what looks to be a slight hill. It's going down like a 45-degree angle as he just kind of disappears from view.
Do we get an attack of opportunity since he's moving away?
I feel like we should.
Burrowing down. Yeah.
Which is technically moving out of our range.
Yeah, I'd say you four can have an attack of opportunity.
I'm assuming I'm not one of those people.
You are not one of those people. You're too far away.
You just don't want me to crit on him again.
Well, it's a
Yeah,
range.
I just critted on him.
21 to hit.
21 to hit will.
I was gonna say it will not hit.
Okay.
13.
18 to hit.
Neptune just hits. Or Jacob hits. And Traston. You don't
Alright.
not have a reaction.
Yeah.
So. Okay.
It'll be
You two go
10.
ahead and 10 damage. Okay.
We're all next to each other, right? So it's sneak attack, right?
No.
Why?
Sneak attack on your turn, not this turn.
No, sneak attack is per turn.
Attack of
Or per
opportunity.
round, or
You have not got
Yeah,
your
you
turn,
can
so
sneak
sneak attack is not back yet.
I didn't sneak attack.
You should have, because you didn't. You did, because of...
Yeah, you did.
No.
You had advantage on the attack roll. You should have.
Oh, I didn't though.
Okay, just add that in there just for the last one.
Total wise is 9 on the dice and then plus 7, so 13.
16. 9
Yeah,
plus 7,
You
16.
got it. Yeah. Math's bad.
Okay.
You
I
see
feel
me.
it. I feel it so much. I hate math.
Okay, so. That is the end of his turn. He is completely out of view. You guys see this 10-foot wide tunnel right in front of you. So, that'll take it up to Elrid Traston.
Traston, you take it away this time.
I look at Elrid and I jump in the hole. It's like,
Okay.
Ta-da!
I just watch him jump in the hole, and I'm like, freaking idiot, and just jumping
As
after him.
as I get down there, how fall's the far? How
How
far is the far? How
So,
We know what
How
you
much?
mean. Even if it was incredibly painful watching you get there.
it is dark in this
small
hole.
toast?
It does seem to have some structure, even though there's sand. You're not quite sure
Do I
what's
see
holding
its
it up.
ass?
About 30 feet ahead, you can make out the slight glisten off of the tail. That was piercing
Bonus
through.
action, immediate. As long as I like eyeball and think it's about 30 feet. Bonus action, I'm going to use Channel Divinity to use Champion's Challenge. That compels every creature I can see within 30 feet, well, that I choose, of course, to make a Wisdom save.
Okay. That is 15.
That is just a success, barely success.
Okay. Try to talk about his mama. You realize that he doesn't speak your language and doesn't seem to take effect. Anything else you would like to do?
I would like to rage.
Okay, bonus action rage.
Oh no, I can't because I already used my bonus. Never mind, I'm not raging.
I will
That's
allow
right.
you to do it as an action if you would like.
Nah, I'm just gonna run him down.
Okay.
Dropping the shield. Just spear time. Run up and stab him in the ass.
So you can just get to the tail, so go ahead and roll an attack.
And reckless.
Okay.
That's gonna be a 21 for the first one.
Okay, that'll hit.
Natural 20 for the second one.
That misses.
Was-
Too many damn natural 20s.
It was a
First.
Dude,
one and a natural
D&D's
20.
dice roller is just it's doing us well tonight,
It was
guys.
a natural 1 and a natural 20. Okay. So for the first one, that's 9 points of piercing and 4 points of radiant damage. And for the second one, I'm going to go ahead and dump a level 2 Divine Smite on that sumbitch.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to need... hold on. So that's... 3. It's a lot of dice. So that's going to be 50 points of radiant plus 15 points of piercing damage.
65 points.
65 total.
Okay. Math. Okay. You illuminate this tunnel for a brief instant with the immense amount of divine energy flowing through this cave as the other three standing
Got hodged.
closest to the hole can see this bright light, even though the sun is still up, just coming out of this hole, knowing that you poked the shit out of it, so to speak.
And that's my full 30 feet of movement. That's my bonus action and my action. Play us out, Elric.
Okey-dokey. So, Elrid, your turn.
Yes. Jump in after him, say, son of a bitch, and let's jump in with him. As soon as I get down there, I see the worm, correct?
You are a little bit further away based off of where you were standing. Trying to justify width, length. Yeah, you should be able to just make it just similar to Traston. It's just within range as you're able to hit it.
Oh, well, I was just checking to see if I could see it first, but
You can see the glistening of the tail as he's tried to stab you with it prior.
many, many times. Very familiar
Yes.
with it.
There's.
I'm gonna chase after him, and I'm going to use my last charge on my sword. And well, I have to see if I hit first. Let's do reckless. Actually, I'm gonna pop my echo out. So I'm gonna be about 15 feet away from him. Pop my echo out in front of him, and
Okay.
make a swing from my echo with reckless attack, great weapon master.
So you can't actually pop it out in front of him because you can't see, and he is covering the entire circumference of the cave. Because he's like 30 feet, 30 feet long himself. So you could get the echo up to its ass, but not necessarily the back or the front of him.
Well, I just want to get my echo up to him. It doesn't matter which side it's on. Just as long
yeah.
as I'm a little bit further away from him, so he has to choose to move to me if he wants to hit me.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, and I'm gonna use Great Weapon Master and Reckless Attack with that. from my echo.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your attack.
Okay. That's gonna be a no. That ain't gonna hit. I will use Unleash Incarnation.
Okay.
Go for another swing.
Yep.
With Great Weapmaster and Reckless as well.
Okay.
24 to hit.
That one will hit.
Okay. And I'm going to use my sword's effect on that as well. Let's see.
Alright, blow your charges. Got it.
Yep, all of them. And... swing! That is some baby back bullshit. You know how many ones were on the D4s? A lot. A lot. It's gonna be 44 points of damage.
44? Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then that will... we'll do another Unleash Incarnation.
Okay.
Why not? Okay, mark that off. Swing, Great Weapmaster, Reckless. So... okay, so 20 to hit.
That will hit.
Okay. Alright, and I assume with this gem in the socket, it doesn't have any passive elemental damage?
Correct. Once the charges are consumed, you would have to use your bonus action to reslot the gem.
Just
else.
checking. Yep, so that's gonna be 27... wait. Yes, 27 points of damage.
Okay.
And then that will be the end of my turn.
Alright. Erupting it into another different colored light as Neptune and Jacob see outside. The same rainbow effect they saw while Traston was inside the creature is you just kind of take another swing at the ass end of this worm as it's very, very angry. Very angry. You could start to see it squirm around quite a bit in this hole trying to get out of your clutches.
Ain't going anywhere, worm.
That'll take it up to Jacob.
That was the least threatening hiss I've ever heard in my life.
Okay. How far away the worm from me?
You can't actually see it. You do know that it went down a hole.
Alright, I'll go down the hole.
Okay. As you kind of enter into the hole, you can see the ass end of this worm, but the space is very narrow. As you look down there, you see Traston and what looks to be Elrid, a more ethereal Elrid, standing at the ass end of this worm, and there doesn't seem to be any way for you to make your way up into there. At least not close enough for you to be able to poke its ass.
It's the only way Jacob knows how to go.
And it really is.
Well, this evolved into something that fanfiction could be created out of, so let's leave it at that.
Rule 34, boys and girls. Damn, so if I can't get up close to it, Jacob's just gonna get out of the hole.
She jumps down there. Back up.
Okay. So you know kind of where it is, and based off of the slant that you can kind of make out a little bit, it's kind of curving over to your left. Kind of over in the opening. Trying to describe direction. It would be northwest of you, so it would be from where you were facing originally, facing directly at Neptune. It would be to the bottom left corner of the map is kind of where it's heading.
Alright, head me down there.
Okay.
And then I could hold an action right till he appears.
Yep.
So for my bonus action, I'm going to speak the word for my flame tongue dagger, and then I'll hold the attack for whenever I can see it.
Alrighty. Technical difficulties with this. And because I skipped Neptune, what would you like to do?
I guess I'd just hold back and see if the worm's actually trying to run away, or so I'd just hold a reaction, maybe a dagger at the ready to throw.
Okay. And are you, excuse me, moving any which direction?
Don't really notice where it's going. It's deep underground, and
Yeah, without going into the hole, you don't really have any idea of which way it's going.
yeah, I'd just hold off until I can see it again.
Okay. Let's see. And I just stepped away to take a quick break. She is up next, so. So let's just bullshit here for a second. What the hell's with all you people in your natural 20s? Getting real sick of it.
It's D&D Beyond, bro. It's broken.
I say we
With
boycott.
D&D
No, I'm
Beyond,
kidding.
you too can crit on every single roll.
Every single roll.
With D&D Beyond.
Are we on break?
We're just taking a quick second here. We're still live, but
Okay.
who's gonna get eaten by the worm next to you, people?
Probably me
Me, the
again.
unnamed person.
Probably Jacob.
Me, Dio.
It's me, Dio.
Jotaro?
I call bullshit.
On.
I'll show you.
Let me guess, you just rolled a natural 20 while bullshitting
No.
die.
Nope, natural
No.
one.
Close. Add one.
Ah, yes, those natural twos, my favorite.
No, it's a natural 22.
The true opposite of natural 20 is a 2. But the same could be said
Yes.
for 200. Or 2000.
I say we should just start rolling percentile dice to determine if we hit or not.
That's a 99% chance to hit.
I mean, that's sort of like how Call of Cthulhu does it, but they go by a lower percentages as success.
Okay.
Call of Cthulhu is an interesting game.
Is this mofo snake thingy still alive?
He is still alive. He is completely out of your view at the moment.
Then she's gonna walk over so that she can try and get a better vantage point on him. And if she still can't see him, then she'll hold her action until he resurfaces.
But you have... Gotta confirm your movement.
35 feet of movement.
So you would be able to make it to the hole. The bigger problem is that Traston and Elred are right in the way. They seem to have stopped about 30 feet down into the hole. If you would like to make an attack, I would say with disadvantage.
No, I'm not gonna take a chance on shooting one of the morons.
I can take it.
Hey.
And that would have been 4 shots total so far. So,
And then she's gonna use her bonus her action I guess, to reload.
Okay.
Can she do it as a bonus action since she's technically holding her action?
I believe reloads work as bonus actions. No, they're actions. So I would say no in this instance.
Okay, then she'll use her action to reload. And that's her turn.
Okay. So that will take it up to the Burmy. And Jacob. You're next. As you walked right where the worm was going. So, because you were holding your action, let me see if it hits you real quick. It's gonna hit you. Go ahead as he's trying to consume you to take your action and roll your attack.
22 to hit.
That will hit.
I would assume this isn't sneak attack, even though I'm invisible.
It should be if it's not.
I'll allow it. Really, it's a reverse sneak attack, but...
It's like sneak attack in the truest sense of the word. He literally can't see you. How is that not a sneak?
Doesn't have eyes. Don't need to see you.
He could have other senses.
Well, yeah.
He does have other senses. But...
You feel you on the ground like Toph.
26 damage, 8 of it's fire.
Okay. Math is that. So, as he bites down on you, you take 24 points of piercing damage. And I need you to give me a dexterity saving throw.
Okay, you said 24.
Yes.
26 to save.
Yep. Yeah, that saves.
Good.
As you just get one dagger up in the roof of its mouth, the other dagger in the bottom of his mouth as you quickly backflip and pull both of your daggers with you back to the safe ground, or so you think. As he gets super pissed that he can't eat you, he's gonna take his tail and try to stab you. That is a 17 to hit.
Fuck, that'll hit.
It's a paddling.
Give me a con save as well. $21
17?
points. 17 fails. So, you take the 21 points of piercing from the stab. And here's what comes the hurt. $38. 40 points of poison damage. Total of 60.
Yeah, Jacob's
points
down.
As Jacob falls unconscious next to this gigantic worm. That will end the worm's turn, taking it up to Neptune. I forgot about your reaction. Go ahead and roll the dagger throw.
Yeah, that will definitely help what I was gonna do next, I guess.
Yeah, go ahead and roll that real quick, because I totally forgot.
Can I even reach him with the dagger?
Yeah, your dagger's got a 60-foot range, I thought. 60-foot
Max
thrown.
That's throwing, but I thought that's thrown with disadvantage.
No.
No.
Anything over that would be disadvantaged.
Okay. I just figured that was the long. So 60 foot. So where is the worm at compared to where Jacob's at?
You can either look at the Twitch stream or you can look at the stream in Discord real quick. I would hop back out because your audio. He is basically right next to Jacob.
Okay, I'm gonna throw it in that direction, I guess.
Okay.
Well, that would be probably a miss since I rolled a 2 plus 11, 13.
That
Totally
indeed
hit.
misses. As the dagger just kind of whizzes by. I assume you threw Whisper.
Wow. Yes, I threw Whisper. So where do I end up?
So you end up about 10 feet behind it, where the dagger actually makes contact. So about right there.
Okay.
Now it is your turn.
Alright, and is Jacob by its shadow?
No. He's on the other side of it. Well, the shadow is essentially towards the top of the map.
Okay.
Jacob is obviously.
So I
Pick
can
up,
move
right.
around it without threatening an attack of opportunity.
Once you
Basically, I'm
walk
gonna
into
go up to-
range.
I figured I wasn't.
Well, I mean, technically you're in range, but you can walk. You can basically pivot around it and not provoke the attack. It's when you leave that range.
Alright, I'm gonna walk up and give Jacob a potion.
Okay, that will consume your action.
Yep.
So either you or Jacob can roll the dice for that.
You can roll it,
Oh.
bud.
Alright.
I believe in you. I don't know.
Let's give Beyond a try. Oh, it rolled 8 on the dice plus 4 be 12
Well.
points.
So Jacob, you are back up now. Well, not up, but you are conscious. You are prone.
How many points was that? 12?
12.
How much movement did I use? 5, 10, 15.
Yeah, about 15.
So I'm gonna use my other 30 to get into the shadow and shadow step the length of a shadow.
I mean, you could take 5, getting Jacob's tiny shadow on the ground.
I mean, I got extreme movement. I might as well use it all, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can.
And then shadow step away from it so I don't get. And then I'm gonna throw my return dagger. Or no,
So-
my action's already consumed
Yeah, you consumed your
because
action.
I healed them.
Which way are you shadow stepping away?
Towards the north, wherever its shadows the longest, I guess.
Okay.
Yep.
Okie dokie then. So,
that also consumes my potion too.
Yep.
Oops.
Actually, I forgot to put Elrid in the hole as well. So, taking it to Traston and Elrid, you're about 30 feet deep in a hole. As you see the worm slither his way still forward, and you hear a scream from above you of somebody, what sounds like somebody getting stabbed.
We have had a chance to smack its ass when it's slithering away.
Sure. Go ahead. Roll your roll. Well, wait. Yeah, you still have your reaction because you didn't use it yet.
Right.
Took your turn.
So I smack.
You can
27 to
you can
hit.
smack. That'll hit.
Smack.
Not gonna change anything.
And that's 9 points of piercing. And come on. 6
20.
points of radiant.
28 to hit.
That'll hit too.
It's gonna be 13 points of damage.
Okay. So I'll take it back up to you guys since that was end of it. Well, beginning of its turn while it was moving. So 30 feet in a hole. You don't see the worm in front of you anymore, but you did see it wriggle away.
Okay. Running further down after where he slithered. Now with my goggles, can I see like where is it like sticking out of the hole and half in, or is it like completely emerged, or
So
down
as
the
you
tunnel? I
walk,
should say?
as you walk about 30 feet forward, the incline dramatically increases. It almost goes up at a 80-degree angle straight up and doesn't seem to still be within the hole itself. It seems to have crested and jumped completely out of the hole to consume a prey of sorts.
Hot damn, he's fast. Okay.
He's a slithery boy.
Super slither boy.
Oh.
I'm gonna kind of kneel down and hold my hands kind of steepled and gesture to Elrid to boost him up.
Okay.
Running full sprint. Try to hop off his hands.
Give me athletics checks for both of you.
17.
And you're both raging, so
I'm not raging.
you're not raging. Elrid, add +3 to yours. Add your strength or your rage mod as well, just for funsies.
Both?
Add your rage modifier to your athletics check.
Okay. That's gonna be 26 then.
And Traston's was a 12.
17.
17. So, as Traston is in that position to kind of give you that hefty toss that you need to make it, you almost seemingly completely fly out of this hole as Jacob hears this very familiar scream as he kind of turns his head up and sees Elrid, sword drawn, looking to make an attack. As
This
Soar
is-
into the air.
I've given him PTSD. He just.
fly, he can fly, he can fly, he can
You're like, is it an angel? Oh no.
in the
It's a
current
bolt.
moment, you're probably, based off the trajectory you were going, you try to match and mirror the movement of how the tunnel went up, and you're heading right for this worm.
I'm going full force, going for a stab straight into the worm.
Go ahead and roll an attack. I would say with advantage, without reckless.
With
And
reckless
add-
triple advantage?
No.
Oh. And add what?
We'll see if you hit.
Okay. So 27 to hit.
Okay, Traston, I will allow you to use a Divine Smite charge if you would like.
For him?
For him. As you boost him.
Let's yeah. As I push him up, I push a little bit of Muradin's juice into his body.
Tingly.
It's warm.
So, what level Divine Smite did you use?
I'm gonna give him a first level.
So, I believe that is
Second
3d8.
level left. That is where'd you go? I always have to check this because I'm bad at paladins. It is right.
Okay. So, add 3d8 to your damage as well as 3d6 for momentum that you're coming down at.
Perfect.
And we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Okay. That'll be 32 points of... No. That's 38 points of damage.
Okay. So, you get this weird sensation in your feet as Traston boosts you up, almost seeming like propelling you directly into the air as you see the worm and essentially lock on, take your sword in your hands, hilt down, going to stab it directly into the what you believe is the head of this creature as it turns around. That same feeling you felt in your feet now envelops your entire body as you are propelled forward almost instantly, what feels like you're teleporting because you're moving at a very high rate of speed, acting like some kind of rocket boots as you're propelled down, sword directly in line as this worm turns, just lets out this most guttural growl as you just slice directly through it all the way down to the tip of its tail, where you are just covered in the entire insides of this creature, just mud, gunk, acid just kind of pouring through your body, but seemingly dissipating as this divine energy has enveloped you, as this worm has just basically been skewered completely in half, and you see what looks to be a cut in half hot dog on the ground now, as this thing has died mercilessly through the Elred rocket.
Oh, red rocket! Fuck
It's a big
on.
head.
Punch!
It has indeed
Hot dog
perished
for
as you see Elred just flying through the air at a very high speed. So, with combat over, what
I'm
would
gonna
you guys...
shamble my way out. I was gonna try to pole vault, but he did.
Can I-
I'm just gonna look over at Traston and try to get his attention. Just give him
Like scrambling, like just
thumbs up.
my head just kind of poking out the hole.
So how high does Elred get before he falls?
He
Like a
got
cat
about
trying to run up
60
at the
feet
last
in the
tree.
air.
I want to cut its stinger off.
Jacob, survival check. Traston
23.
making his way up out of the hole. Tried to climb out, but the height of it with the very soft ground proved difficult. Took you a little longer to climb out that hole than you had originally anticipated.
Do I notice Traston trying to climb out of the hole?
You see my head like.
You kind of hear him.
Was
Just kinda-
was I by the time I was done with the worm? Was I out of the hole or was I back in the hole?
You were out of the hole.
Okay, I'm
You're
just
basically
gonna
inside
I
of it.
I'm gonna look down for Traston first of all, and then try to help him up by just extending my arm.
Okay. Easily enough. You see him, he's about halfway up the wall as you start to see the sand kind of go down. As you reach your hand out, he grabs your hand, you manage to pull him up pretty easily.
Get up here, Traston. Just grab his hand and just lift him up.
Oh.
Okay. And Neptune, are you doing anything?
Wondering if there's more of them.
Okay, just go ahead and give me a perception.
$23.
23. Okay. So, Leo, easily enough, with Elrid's skewer job, you're able to pretty easily get the tail off. It's, like I said, about a foot and a half long into this very fine point, almost needle-like. As you look at it a little bit closer, you see this poison kind of dripping out of it, and after being stabbed with it, you're being pretty careful with it as to not impale yourself with it again, because you're not sure whether the poison was coming from the tail or from something inside the creature, but you do see bits of liquid come off of that.
Okay. I'm gonna put it in my backpack.
Okay. Just go ahead and add a purple worm stinger to your bag, in case you would like to use it for later. Neptune. Listening around.
Yep.
And trying to pay attention to all of your senses, looking around, listening, trying to feel anything if there's some kind of rumble, similar to what happened. All seems to be quiet. You hear a slight change in the breeze. It starts to, what sounds like, pick up. Like there's a heavy wind blowing from the northwest to the southeast. The only other thing that you hear is the occasional wildlife. You hear a few snakes.
With hearing the wind, can I tell if there's a, like, sandstorm or brewing?
You haven't been in a desert of this magnitude, so you're not quite sure of whether or not it's indication of a storm. But you do hear the subtle change in that wind.
Okay.
Anybody else doing anything?
I roll my. Once I get out and kind of get on my legs, I immediately just flop down in the sand, look up at the sky, and just.
Anna's gonna check on Traston and make sure that he's okay after being eaten by a giant bug snake thing.
Were you rolling damage from him falling onto the sand?
Sand hot.
Like a sand angel, just like full star.
I'm gonna go over to Traston and just look down at him and say, "What did you do back there? My whole body felt tingly after you launched me."
I tried a theory, and it worked, apparently, because the purple people eater over there not looking too good at the moment. But there was a little bit of that was a little bit of channeled Morden's essence, I guess. It's I don't really know exactly what it is or how it works, but I've been able to kind of make my strikes and jabs and slashes a little bit more strength to them.
Interesting.
I'm guessing it's something to do with the weapon itself, and as long as I've kept praying and keeping my my shit in tip-top shape, it's been pretty good so far. Might have something to do with it.
So you're able to channel it from your weapon and you were able to give me it for a time?
Apparently, I was just kind of like a running theory, and I tried it. And, heat of the moment.
But both Max as a player and Traston as a character are
Did
very
anybody
confused.
else? Did anybody else, when he just sang "Heat of the Moment," immediately flash back to like the Groundhog episode of Supernatural?
Yep.
Didn't watch that
Okay.
far.
Okay, as long
It's
as
like-
I'm not alone.
Like Renegade from Styx is always a great song by itself, but it always also reminds me of that episode as well.
I never even thought about that song until I saw that episode of Supernatural.
But anyway,
Yeah, I'm just gonna sit down and stand next to Traston. Just remembering all the guts being sprayed on me, then instantly falling off, just trying to recover.
Okay. And the rest of you, obviously, Anna's checking in on Traston, Jacob, Neptune. Anything else you want to do?
No.
I'm just gonna look over at Traston. You were eaten by that worm.
I'm trying not to think about it too much.
Had to be really slimy.
It was surprisingly like moist. Like not. It was like you know, like the inside of your cheek, you kind of get that little like hot air coating on it with the wetness. It's kind of like that, but everywhere,
It seeped into your armor, didn't it?
everywhere.
Well, don't worry. The desert will dry you out, and you'll just smell a little rancid for a while.
Yeah, I don't smell too. I smell pretty ripe at the moment. Oh,
Do I
You do-
notice him
Okay.
like complaining about his armor while I was paying attention?
Yeah, you can hear him. He didn't get
Conjure-
very far from the
So,
body.
looking at it, does it seem kind of water in theory?
The body or Traston?
Traston, like the stuff on him. I'm guessing it looks
The
like,
goopy
is it?
goop.
Are you,
I was
are you
gonna
asking
take
if the
shape
armor
water.
is dehydrated?
the throat.
No, the throw up on him.
Roll to hydrate armor.
The throat phlegm.
I was going to take shape water and try to form the water off of him, like pull it away from him.
The worm just cleared his throat with me.
It does have some kind of liquid consistency, but you're not sure that it's water. Based off of where he was, you can probably make the assumption it was some kind of bile or acid, which wouldn't
Okay,
be
well-
necessarily water-like in shape. At least,
The reason why I was asking is
destroy
I
it.
have resistance to acid, so I just didn't know. Well, I was wanting to destroy it. I was just gonna try and use shape water to pull it off of him, because
like,
I
you
can
could give him
form
a
it.
bath.
I mean, that works too, I guess.
Are you gonna gain a new skill, bend bodily fluids?
I mean, I did it with blood, so
He's a bile bender now. Hydrochloric acid, go.
Yes, you could create water and give him a bath if that's what you so choose. I would say no to the destroy.
okay, that's fine. So he gets encased in a big bubble of water, and then
just trying to relax. just.
Similar to those steam rooms, since you can only create 5 gallons.
huh?
Pretty sure create water is only 5 gallons of water.
No.
Okay, so
Create water up to 10 clean, and since I cast it at second level, I get an extra 5. Or no, an extra 10.
okay, if you want to do
So
that,
it's
like,
20 gallons of water.
are you gonna
So I
drown Traston?
want to make sure all our water
Yes.
skins and everything are filled, and then I'm going to
It's like
basically
300
form a
pounds
bubble
of water, just like
around him, but not his head, and just
Okay.
give him a washing machine motion.
Okay,
So-
roll to waterboard.
Roll for rotation.
Where's the money, Lebowski?
So you start to cast your create water as you fill up the water skins out of this floating, looks to be small water pocket. and you just fill up each and every one of them that you have on hand. And some of the ones Traston's carrying that he made himself. They've even got a little Traston engraved on the bottom of them. So he took the extra time to write his name.
Stamp it. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
As you don't tell Traston what you're doing. As
Just laying there in the sand like a sand angel, just full starfish.
as what looks like a little gel ravioli, as water just envelops his entire lower body, not covering his head, as he starts to feel this rotating motion in the water, similar to a whirlpool, as it seems to be cleaning him, as sand is...
It's like one eye just shoots open. Okay.
You have there's water attacking you now.
That's it. Where's it coming from, Elred?
I don't know. Do I notice? Do I notice Neptune casting us?
You look over and you see Neptune kind of holding his hand out and making like a spinning motion back and forth.
Water elemental! Help me!
Waterman, why didn't you even ask?
He was complaining. I'm sorry. I figured I'd clean the acid off of him.
He's trying to rest after battle, one that you didn't help much in.
You scared me is all. It's okay. We're cool. This water actually feels really nice.
I
How do
mean,
you do this?
I mean, Jacob didn't die.
Burn the heretic.
I just really wish you'd be like, okay, jacuzzi setting. You see bubbles start popping out of it, and
Like the two little
I
like
can make bubbles pop
jet
out of it.
streams.
so contrasting.
Please don't burn me again.
Can you get it in like the low? I got some like air issues with my like these back vertebrae.
Should I
Can you
change
just
the
have it,
color
like,
of the water
vibrate?
too?
Can you clean my ass, please? That's
No.
what I was.
After Traston receives his makeshift bath in the sand,
Splish splash. I was taking
Taking the bath.
what would you guys like to do? A little disoriented.
I'm gonna stay on the wet sand so as not to just have all the dry sand stick to the wet me.
Okay.
I hate sand. It's rough and coarse and it gets everywhere.
I pull the carpet up to you. Here, get on this.
Oh, thank you. Just roll on top of it and maintain starfish and just like bask like a lizard in the morning sunlight.
Okay. At this point, you start to see the sun starting to dip below the horizon as it's starting to get towards the nighttime hours. After about 20 minutes or so in the heat, Traston, you're pretty much dry as you have turned yourself into a kite to dry. Worm corpse still nearby. The desert is yours. What would you like to do?
Elrod's probably just gonna wait for Traston's lead since he's the one that primarily knows where we're going. He can navigate this area better than he can.
I guess part of me would be wondering, like, could I learn something off of the creature? Like, how it kind of got around, or how it could sense us, or... I guess it didn't really have eyes.
Are you asking to train from a worm master?
I'm debating whether between survival and nature, we'll say nature.
Either one is +5, so... With nature, it's a 23.
Kind of looking over the body, trying to gather any kind of information whatsoever on what this may be or what its traits might be. You realize it doesn't have any eyes of any sort. You thought it might at first, but that was just the bullet holes and a shot into what was expected to be its head.
First spray.
You see the very dull spikes kind of along its back and along its sides that seem to be used for the purposes of grinding up stone to make it a little easier for it to dig through any kind of surface. But based off the assumption that it doesn't have a nose, it doesn't have eyes, it can only sense by taste and feel. So, you probably assume that something you guys did attracted it to you, probably because it was nearby. The only thing you guys did was walk. So you can probably assume it's got some kind of tremor sense, so to speak.
Okay.
But looking over the body as well, you do see a couple glimmers of what look to be stones that were inside of it.
Would Elwood have known if these worms can be trained? Like if somebody were to spend the time, if they could be sicked on a group?
You've never heard of that? Most people train dogs, boars, even some bears in some instances.
Oh my.
But you've never heard of a worm. A giant worm. Mostly because they,
A big purple worm.
as far as you understand, they don't understand any kind of languages.
Wait, are we close to Alaska?
You were on the wrong side for that.
Okay, just making sure. You know, these Alaskan bullworms.
They'll eat you in your sleep.
Well,
Okay.
So
Elwood's
in
probably
theory,
gonna eat some food, or
Okay.
ask for some food if he doesn't already have some in his backpack. I don't know how it was split up.
I guess Anna's gonna try to, like, cook some of the meat that she bought from the butcher.
okay.
And then probably suggest that we all fly up on the carpets and try to get some rest after the encounter.
Okay. And Neptune, you said you were gonna assume something?
I was gonna suggest to stay off the ground because of the creature having the ability to detect us on the ground.
Well, we can't cook in the air, unfortunately, so we'll have to do that quickly. And then I think he's right. We
That's
should
fine.
probably get up off the ground as fast as we can. Like, cook, put the fire out, get up on the carpets, fly up and eat.
Yeah, and based off of your newly found experience with this thing, it's not quiet about when it finds you. The ground shakes very violently, so next time you shouldn't be as surprised if one were to shoot. But, so, you guys are setting up camp here for the moment as the sun is setting into the distance.
Yeah. Yes, we are. Or do we want to try and travel throughout the night while the heat is down?
Up to you guys. I think
Oh,
the
we're
common
doesn't-
consensus at first is to at least get something to eat.
Well, yeah.
Yes.
I was meaning like we can
And
conversate in the air.
Yeah, okay. So, sake of brevity, the pre-cooked yet preserved meats that you guys just cooked earlier this morning, kind of break that out and you start to have yourself a little meal to recover some of your energy before continuing further. After getting some of that out, you all decide to stick pretty close together, each on a carpet, just kind of hovering about 30-40 feet in the air right now. So, discuss if you would like to decide what.
Jacob's just gonna trance.
Elwood's probably gonna get some rest in.
Guess we rest then, are we?
So Jacob's trancing. Neptune, you're just gonna also nap.
Yeah, I guess take it easy for now.
Doesn't look like Traston's there at the moment, but I assume he like to take a quick breather to recover some of his energy as well, and would start to take his nap. And Anna, what would you like to do? Everybody's seemingly starting to get a rest in of some sort.
Anna?
Is the food already cooked and everything?
Yes, everything's cooked. You guys are on the carpets. Everybody else seems to have decided to take a quick rest.
I mean, if they're all resting, like, are we all in the same one?
No, y'all can't fit on the same one.
It's just a big pile on of people on one carpet.
Right. So, I mean, there's not really
Dog
anything I can
pile.
do. I'm just gonna hang out and keep watch while everybody sleeps. Because, I mean, I can't fly away and leave whoever's not on the carpet with me.
You're an elf, right?
Yes.
So can't you trance and still be aware of your surroundings?
Yeah, but I don't need to.
Okay.
I didn't get hit by anything because I was standing back shooting at it.
Okay.
I guess, do I have somebody on my bigger carpet since I got like the biggest one?
Anna has
Yes,
the
I-
smallest.
I'm with you. I'm your big spoon.
Right. I was gonna say, I figure Elrid and possibly Jacob are on that carpet. And
Well, we're gonna
Traston and Anna
We're making
on one.
We're making a Jacob sandwich.
Oh,
Jacob
no.
sandwich, huh?
Okay, so I say we take a quick 15-minute break or so. Come back at 8:30, and we will be. And we are back. After felling the giant purple worm, the party has taken a break. Neptune and Anna on one carpet with Elrid, Traston, and Jacob on the other. So, I believe everybody's common consensus was to go ahead and take a relatively short rest, so to speak. So, with Jacob trancing on the one carpet. Go ahead and give me a perception check. And this is about 2 hours into your trance.
16.
As you kind of listen in a little bit more, just kind of getting more familiar with your surroundings, start to feel and hear the wind whipping back and forth with this strong force. As you start to feel tiny little speckles start to reach up onto the carpet and start to... It doesn't hurt bad, but you can definitely feel like sand getting in your face and kind of making its way up underneath your mask.
I'll wake up. Is anyone on the carpet with me?
Yes.
You have
me.
Elrid, Traston, yes,
Well,
and you,
Yeah.
and yourself.
I'll grab them. I guess I'm in the middle. I'll grab them both by the shoulder and shake them to wake them up.
You two have been shaked.
What the hell do you want?
I think there's a
Jacob, we need to have a
sandstorm coming.
discussion about sleeping etiquette.
Yeah, if you want to get caught up in a sandstorm, we can.
Oh shit.
Sanda, who's what?
scan the horizon. Does it look like we got the big one coming?
Give me a perception. It's about 8 o'clock. The sun's just set.
9.
Would you say? Looking off on the horizon, you can't see much of anything. It's entirely too dark for you to make out any kind of detail. You do feel some sand making its way up onto the carpet. Doesn't seem to be large amounts, but you definitely kind of feel it kind of in your hands, kind of hitting your face ever so slightly.
Oh, shit. All right. Are you driving this thing, Jacob?
I'm not. I don't know how to fly this.
Who the hell's driving this thing?
I thought Elred was.
I was asleep.
You just woke him up. What do you mean?
I was trancing. We were just sitting here.
You were the last one awake.
Look around. We've just been hovering in the air while the rest of the party's flown away.
Goodbye,
Did we see the rest of the
everyone.
party?
Looking to your left, you see Anna and Neptune on the smaller carpet, probably about 10 feet away from you.
Yeah, one of you two want to wake them up.
No.
Hey! Who's driving? I don't know what the hell I'm doing with this thing. Who is driving this carpet?
Words that I didn't think I'd hear today.
I never thought I'd ever say those words in that order out of my mouth.
Did he wake him up?
Neptune, did you hear them?
Yes, I heard him.
Purposely ignored.
Yes.
Left me on red.
Figured something was going on. It's normal.
Anna
with
seems
them.
to have heard you and kind of gestures at her ear, kind of like, fuck you want.
I point to Neptune like, wake him up. No, I just point to
She
Neptune and
is-
say, wake him up.
Wake him up.
As you say that, you kind of see Neptune kind of roll over and look up, kind of in your general direction.
We gotta get out of the storm. It's gonna start picking up and kicking our ass in here in a second. And I get down on the ground in a hole or hovel or cave or crag or some other form of blind hole or through hole. Don't matter much as long as there's 4 walls and a roof.
As you guys are starting to have this conversation, the wind starts to whip more violently. You start to hear the wind almost whistle as the speeds are probably somewhere between 100, 150 miles an hour at this point. You feel the sand pelt against your skin. It almost feels like somebody's throwing rocks at you with this itty-bitty grain of sand as you start to see less and less of the people across the way.
Traston, which way do we need to go?
Down.
Not up.
Specifically not up.
Well, can we
can
go over
go forward, back, left, or right, or we could go down. Not
You
up.
tell me we can't go over it.
I don't know how these things work, and I'm not going to try that and have it not work.
That's
And end up falling a healthy distance.
I mean, I can kind of drive it, although I'm not super comfortable with that idea.
oh, for Christ's sake. Jacob's
Oh,
gonna
hell,
drive it
Neptune's
down.
not on this thing. Go ahead. Yeah. Point us down. We need to get out of this.
Well, don't point it straight down.
Not straight down. No, we don't need a nosedive. This son of a bitch.
I'm gonna lower the carpet to the ground.
Okay. As you start to steer it down, your vision completely gets blocked out as
While we were going down, did I see like any areas of any kind, like a wall or like some sandstone that might provide some natural cover?
that's the thing. As you guys start to fly down, the sandstorm's in full force. As You can barely see Elred and Jacob next to you as the sand almost completely envelops you guys. You can't see or hear Anna at all, as well as Neptune. As you make your way seemingly downwards, Jacob kind of remembering the distance between the ground and where you guys were, as he sees it basically at the last second to stop the carpet and basically land on the ground. Considering you guys flew basically straight up from where you were, where you killed the worm, you do recall that the worm dug a couple holes.
Those are probably a little ways back.
Not too much further.
But do we know what direction, like just looking around, do we have any idea which way to start walking?
It's based off where you camped. You camped pretty close to the body because you guys were pretty exhausted. It's probably about 30 feet to your east by northeast.
All right. Start heading that way. Follow me and stay close. We got to get somewhere below ground or somewhere where we won't get beat to shit by the wind.
Jacob's gonna put his hand on Elred so he can stay by him.
Okay.
Just look at his hand on my shoulder, look back at him. Confused look on Elred's face. Then he remembers the great roast heist. And everything's fine.
Okay.
Roast brings people together.
Okay.
Until they tear it apart.
Okay. So, you guys make it into this sandworm hole. As you hear the wind just wailing back and forth through that hole, almost reverberating through the entire cavern that's been dug out. How far are you guys going in?
Try to slide down the. So we're at the one with the incline, or just the one that just shoots straight down?
You're at the one with the incline.
Okay. Just slide down the incline and stay at the mouth and back up like maybe 10 feet from where we land.
Okay.
And I want to hug one of the walls of the tunnel.
Okay. So, Elred, Jacob, anything you guys want to do?
No.
I'll probably just keep close to Traston.
Yeah, same.
Okay. So, as you guys take cover in this hole, 10, 15 minutes pass. Still no sign of Anna. No sign of... You're not quite sure what has happened to them, but they're nowhere within sight, and it shouldn't have taken this long to get to the ground. The last thing that they remember hearing was Jacob saying, "Shouldn't we go up?" As you guys are basically stuck in this cavern. Hour goes by, sandstorm still raging.
I don't hear him anymore.
Okay, audio did the timeout thing. So, as it doesn't look like there's an end in sight to this particular storm, the cave itself seems to be pretty dark now that there's no natural lighting coming from any side, given the time of day. Anything you guys want to do while buckled down for the moment, eating your roast?
Anybody got any playing cards?
Anyone got any cards?
Bum bum bum.
Got any cards?
Not really a big game player. What did you have in mind? The cards.
Anything to pass the time, I would guess. It's better than doing nothing, right?
Yeah. I guess.
Jacob, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Okay. A 7. Natural 1 plus 6.
Okay. If you weren't so familiar with this recently dug hole, you probably would have missed it. But as you're kind of conversating back and forth with Elrid and Traston, down about 20 feet, you see what looks like a spark of light that just kind of goes out. That goes down to the right, which is not the way the worm came out.
Jacob's gonna put his hood up and head down that way.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to do as you're heading that way?
I had my dagger ready just in case the threat is there.
Elrid, Traston, you see Jacob just pick his hood up and disappear. With no rhyme or reason.
Him and his magic tricks.
And are you moving stealthily or you don't care?
Stealthily, I'll cast Pass Without a Trace as well.
Okay. That and add 10 to your stealth check.
I got a 19 plus 12 is
31.
is that the plus 10 as well?
Oh,
41.
that was okay.
Oh!
That's a little different.
I am a ghost.
There are people you've met before that do not remember doing so.
Tress and I
Okay,
forget
so-
that we even know each other. That's how stealthy you are.
Did we come down here with just us two, Elrid?
I thought there was another
Who was
person.
the other guy?
What was that guy's name again? I think he was a dwarf.
Yeah, makes sense.
He's so stealthy, he literally made it where he doesn't exist at all.
So,
I dabbed too hard.
One second.
Jacob, as you're making your way down into this second tunnelway here, occasionally you see that same spark again and again. As you continue down this cavern, it starts to get brighter as you get closer. One thing you do notice as you're making your way down this direction is it doesn't seem to be the same height and width that it was when the worm dug the hole. It seems to be a little more man-made, so to speak. And as
And do
you
I see? Okay, sorry.
yeah, as you get towards the end of this little tunnel, kind of veers off to the right. And it's a pretty large hole. Probably about a 10 by 10 square that has been kind of dug out through this. And you see an individual sitting there attempting to light a fire. And Corden, would you like to explain what you look like?
it's nobody that I know is showing up, right?
You do not see anybody.
It's like they're invisible, but ghost-like. Half-elf male with, I guess, golden blonde hair that doesn't really go all the way down. I got my hood pulled down, but if you could see in the dark, you would be able to see the platinum-like robe that is scaly-like. And me basically trying to cast a firebolt or to light a fire to chill out for the sandstorm temporarily.
I'm gonna go to the directly across from him.
Okay.
Sit down, pull out my dagger, flame dagger.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull my hood off. Say howdy.
Would Corden be scared of this such action of a man just suddenly appearing in front of him?
I don't really think so, due to the fact he'd be more calm and collected, thinking that someone is seeking shelter just as much as he is.
A random man appears in front of you, wearing these very dark robes, face completely covered. The only thing that you can see is his two eyes between the gaps of this mask, as you can definitely see that he's been through some things. Kind of got sand kind of covering his front end, where he looks like he was caught in the storm for a little while.
That would be a problem, being I got in here before the storm hit.
Proceed. He says howdy.
Howdy. Where would you have come from to learn such an introduction?
All over the place. Didn't really have
All
a
over the
home.
place.
Jacob's gonna speak the magical word for his blade, and then put it into the firewood or whatever is down there he's trying to light, and see if I can light it.
Easily enough. As you touch the blade to the wood, it ignites in a very large flame. By this point, Traston, Elred, you see a light source coming from behind you. As you guys took that route through previously, you do not remember that path being there.
Do you see that light?
I do.
Should we be worried?
I would hazard to guess. Maybe we should kind of. Oh shit! Where's Jacob at?
That was his name.
Jacob, is that you? Jacob.
Do I hear them?
It doesn't seem like you do. The sand is kind of absorbing the sound, kind of trapping it in their tiny space.
I'm gonna yell through the cave, Leatherface! Are you there?
Give me a perception check for the screen.
Okay. Oh, it was a 7 again.
Answer's no.
No.
You hear nothing. You're trying to strike up a conversation with this other individual that seems to have some similar traits.
Being now that there's actually a light source, he's got more of a picture of my character, I guess, underneath the cloak itself, other than the silver platinum-like scales of my cloak. You can see that it actually goes into my skin itself and kind of down my arms, where I have like draconic arcane runes running down my arms on both sides.
Is there a wall for Jacob to back up into? Like a little bit away from the fire?
Yeah, there's one about 5 feet either direction.
He's gonna back up to that wall. He doesn't like fire.
Weren't you the one that lit it?
He was.
I was being kind.
Live and learn.
I was being kind.
You see that individual kind of step back from the fire a little bit, kind of a little apprehensive of being that close.
And what's your name?
My name is Corden Acer. That's how I would. Acer. I come from a island far to the north of Arcania on a mission from my people.
Does Jacob know anything about that island, or would he?
As far as you know, you've never heard of an island north of the continent of Chrysaline.
Strange. I didn't know there was a island north of Chrysaline.
They
Can I tell
tend
if
to
he's
try
lying?
to keep it. They seem to keep it very, in some respects, hush hush. It's kind of a sacred place. Not many people do really know about it.
Jacob is just kind of standing there. Starts playing with his knife in his hand.
Okay.
I must warn you, though, I have 2 more friends up there, so if they come barging down, don't be shocked.
Yes, were
They're
you
kind
two
of-
heading that way, by the way?
I mean, more the merrier.
Not
More protection. If you want to inform them that I'm here, I am no threat to you.
Yeah, and Traston and Elred, were you guys heading towards the direction of the light?
Hell no.
Say Elwood would be apprehensive, but he'd probably close in to get a closer look just to see what's going on.
Okay.
Have my
Trying to be-
spear ready, like ready to hurl it or whatever the fuck comes out of the darkness if it doesn't respond.
It already didn't respond.
Correct.
And are you trying to be stealthy, or are you just being your normal self?
Stealthy. Can't speak for Traston though.
I'm just standing there.
Okay, so go ahead and give me a stealth check as you make your way in that general direction.
Six.
Okay. Oh. As as Neptune and not Neptune, sorry. Corden and Jacob having their discussion. You two hear
Where's in
The
a
sound.
Neptune to get lost in the abyss and the sandstorm?
you haven't heard that from them or seen them in a couple hours by this point. So, you're not quite sure where they are. Jacob, Corden, you hear sound of sand crunching in a very rhythmic motion. Sounds like footsteps heading in your general direction. Seems to be a pretty tall individual based off of the footsteps.
as tall as Elrid and Traston, I would assume.
Yeah, you can assume. Considering they were the only two you saw in the cave at the time.
Sounds like them walking now. You warned the little orc boy. He's a little grumpy. Don't anger him.
Oh, okay. I can understand.
As Jacob finishes his sentence, Gordon facing the hallway, you see two eyes peeking over the corner, staring at you.
Trying to be stealthy.
Seems to be a green-skinned individual, as he just slowly pulls his head back through the hall there. He could hear Jacob, but he doesn't see Jacob, which isn't unusual for Elrid.
You're not wrong.
Elrid, what would you like to do? Standing at the hallway, you see this individual sitting in front of a fire, seemingly talking to himself. You hear Jacob occasionally. This individual has a very shiny silver cloak that seems to be embedded into his skin. Seems to be half-elven in nature, with the slight point to his ears and a necklace that seems to have some kind of scales attached to it. And you notice a couple of writings look to be inked into his skin.
So Elward doesn't see Jacob at all?
No. You hear, but you don't
Stealth
see.
check was just too strong.
Elward would probably assume that Jacob found this person just because he's judging by how they're talking. They're not talking like either one of them is being violent.
Right.
And probably just come out and go, "What's going on here, Jacob?"
Okay. According to that
On the
individual you saw, walks in. Go ahead, Jacob.
Found this little half-elf trying to start a fire. I helped him out.
As he speaks, you turn around to your left and you see him standing in the corner.
That's where you were.
Yeah, I don't getting close.
Sorry, my cat's not dick. So, what brings you out here?
Sandstorm, for one.
No, what brings you out in the middle of the desert?
I've gotten some information that there's some unsavory characters that need necessarily for words to be cleansed.
Interesting.
One of them's your cat.
Not the
Yes.
cat.
I'm fine with this.
Did Traston come by as well, or was it just Elrid?
Oh,
Just
Oh,
Elrid. Traston seems to be sitting in the dark.
spear up, eyes peeled, seeing if that light starts getting closer.
I'm just gonna yell at the top of my lungs, "Traston!"
Traston perception, see if you can sense a yell.
Okay.
The light doesn't seem to be moving.
Natural one.
You're dead.
So-
Me and you both, buddy.
You've lost all hearing.
You hear a
Well, like-
yell from outside
Nope.
in the sandstorm.
Nope.
But the light doesn't seem to be getting closer at all. It seems to be sticking to that spot and kind of lighting up that back wall. You haven't seen Elrid or Traston for 5-10 minutes.
Now, sufficiently shooketh. Should I see a figure or silhouette or anything?
Okay.
Throw on the spear.
Okay.
Well, Elrod's now gonna walk into the hall, like the area that he came in, because he's gonna be looking for where Traston went, because he left them all by his lonesome. So he's not responding to his yell is gonna make him go, okay. And hold on, I left Traston behind. I don't know if he got lost. I'm gonna get him real quick. And just walk out that direction.
Okay. Traston, you see a figure. Silhouette
Reckless
of a
throwing.
figure.
Reckless throwing.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an attack.
That's a 19 and a natural 20.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oof.
And he would
Are
definitely put a divine smite on
I
that
was gonna
too.
say, are you pumping anything into this?
A second level, yeah. Like he's to the point where he's like, I'm not gonna fuck with anything. I'm not even gonna give it a chance. I'm just gonna chuck it and dump it to fuck this thing in particular, and nuke it before it gets a chance to do anything with me. So spear's thrown.
Who touched you
let's-
as a child?
That's so let's do the piercing first. That's 11 points of piercing damage.
So, so for the sake of this not being actual combat, would I be able to try to dodge?
I would say no because you don't have dark vision.
And that's
Okay. He
so
went
that's
around the corner,
38
right?
points of
So I
radiant damage
wouldn't be
total.
able to
Time
see
doubled to
Elric.
76.
Give me a second. Alex?
So, Elrid's rounding the corner.
Elrid's
Do I
out of
see
your
him
line
still
of
at
sight.
the corner?
No,
Okay, well, then
he's
I
out of
wouldn't
your
know.
line of sight right now. So that was...
That was
much damage?
so that was 11 points of piercing, and then 38 doubled to 76 points of radiant.
Do I hear the spear being thrown?
Not really. You
That's
just
some
kind of
bullshit.
hear...
That is some bullshit, Daryl.
You
The natural 20 and the sound
Listen.
sand is loud.
look at it from this perspective. You put your faith in Traston because you walked in there. He saw you walk that way. You
You're
don't know
telling
what
me-
happened to this poor man.
You're
while
telling me
you were
pumping
gone.
divine smite? You're telling me pumping divine smite into his weapon isn't gonna make it glow? It
Neither
made me
one
glow.
of you. No, that gave you energy. It didn't make you glow. It doesn't glow until impact.
No.
So wait,
That
how
is
much
gonna
damage
be
altogether
bright.
was that max? Like 96?
So that was 76.
Plus 22.
38 times 2 plus 11.
Wouldn't the
Because it
11
was
be doubled?
11. No, the 11 already doubled and added. It was a 3 on the
Okay.
die plus 5.
You'll
so
be
doubled
fine,
to
I
6 plus
promise.
5. So 87
be-
total.
This'll be a good
87
intro.
points of damage with one attack, baby.
You put your
Paladin.
faith in Traston to not stab you, as
And
you
he's
three
using
were the
he's
only
using
ones
his
in the
faith to kill me.
All of our work of camaraderie is now rendered useless. He's never gonna trust me again.
It wasn't Jacob's fault this time.
As you kind of hear a squeak from down the hallway as you make your round around the corner.
Because all
Traston sees
Traston
a
knows,
silhouette.
this tunnel has only been used for fucking worms and nonsense.
So you're telling me
Alright.
I wouldn't hear his
Alright.
I wouldn't hear his armor at all as he's moving around.
Bro, I
in
didn't
the
move.
dark?
I was
I got an
standing still
idea.
and
I
chucked
want to
the
ask
scumbag.
Daryl this.
Okay.
For the sake of trying to save Elrid from a bunch of freaking damage, do I get, like, because Bahamut himself is, like, the protector and wants to protect people, do I get a divine sense that Elrid's in danger so I have a chance to cast a spell on him?
You can't see him. Is the
I
problem?
have dark vision. That's what I'm
Yes, but
saying,
he's
is
around
getting
the
the
corner.
dark...
You don't have X-ray
Well,
vision.
Well, what I'm saying is if I get a sense, I would get up and walk
then
towards
blink.
him.
You would
him.
need to move 30 feet in the time that Traston has chucked this
I
spear
only need...
into what can only be believed as his sternum at this point. I would say No.
I can
because-
target him with one spell, and I was going to target him with it. It's 60 feet in range, so even if I was to tilt over and look down the hallway, I couldn't reach him.
Does it say target you can see? Or does it say creature within this range?
Transform a creature that you can see within range.
So no. It'll be fine. I know what you are.
Okay.
They don't know what you are. If Elred dies here, he'll be fine. I think.
I think he's a little bit more durable than 80.
Keep in mind, you didn't get a
87,
full
but not
rest.
by much.
He didn't get
Oh.
a full rest, he's
He
He
not
didn't get a
raging.
full rest. Oh no.
It's not double though. I think he had 48 health.
Something
No.
like that.
So,
No, he's.
Elred, as you see, you don't really see it. You more so feel it as it pummels you and then blinds you with this very bright light. As the last glimpse second, you see a spear.
A familiar spear jutting out of your fucking heart.
As I
Oh,
assume
no.
you're now unconscious.
And the second that spear leaves my hands, I'm going to run over and see what it is, and with the intention of finishing the job.
Okay.
But
Well, is Elred unconscious?
Oh yeah, you nearly
Okay.
doubled
He's
doubled
totally
his
You
health.
hear you hear a very familiar thud, what sounds like leather hitting sand, as you
Okay.
just feel your chain kind of tug on you as the target falls flat on its back. Corden, Jacob, you hear a light scream. Jacob, recognizing that the scream is a little less manly than you remember, but you know that scream.
I'll shadow step into the hallway.
Okay.
I'm at this point sprinting towards him, however far away he was when I threw it.
Okay.
How
Jacob,
far away am
you
I
see,
from now?
you're pretty close to Elred. Traston, as you get closer, your spear's in Elred.
Now, how
Right,
long
his
did it
sternum.
take for me to get to him? Was it 6 seconds?
About 6 seconds, yeah.
Okay.
Corden, making your way out there and
Mhm.
seeing the individual who was just in the room with a spear in his chest, completely unconscious.
Instant I realize, I'm like, oh, fuck. Elred, why'd you... son of a... Okay, and then I jump all 35 points of my lay on hands into him, and then I start getting my action, so to speak, and then I'm getting out my superior healing potion and popping the cork. And if they don't get there in time, it's going to be jammed in his throat, so it's going to be an unconscious Elred spear out of his chest, my hand on his heart, and me shoving this potion in his mouth. Drink,
Elred,
damn it.
after Traston's mistake, you feel a very familiar energy, similar to the one you used to kill a worm. Pick you back up, got a little more pep in your step and a spear in your chest. As he is forcibly opening your mouth while you're awake.
And pull the spear out. It's gonna hurt. I'm sorry. Just ready. 1, 2, and then I pull it.
Is Elred awake now?
Elred
At
is
least tell me you're
awake
gonna
now.
punch him.
Elred is gonna be livid.
8d4 plus 8 for you, my guy.
He's going to.
He's mad, but he's getting a potion shoved down his throat.
He's gonna appear very calm. And then,
Traston knows.
as Traston is apologetic, like, listen, it was a
I'm
mistake.
sorry. You listen. Yeah, you
You're
can't
just
be
gonna-
going off.
It's gonna look like Elred is understanding. He's gonna put his hand on his shoulder, and then he's just gonna rage and squeeze as hard as he fucking can, and just look up at him.
Do you recognize the look in his eye?
That is the intent to kill.
I rage in response. Just like hands on each other's shoulders.
Gordon, Jacob, you see two angry individuals. One fearful for his life, the other one fearing to
I look
take a
at
life.
Jacob and be like, "Is this the group you follow?"
You see two individuals just screaming back and forth at each other.
I just wish
Is
Jay would
this
say, I've never
normal?
seen these guys before in my life.
Never seen them before in my life.
I did warn you that the orc
Lady
one is a little angry.
The orc one.
You hear him say orc one.
Not.
Does he hear me or Corden say it? I said it quietly.
Who?
We'll use your stealth check before.
Did I?
You
who did
vaguely
I
hear
hear?
orc. You don't know who said it, but you vaguely hear orc.
I know he's not an orc. I know he's a gith. Orcs are much.
Does your character know I'm a Gith?
He can judge by your
I-
appearance that you're a gith.
Yeah.
So
Jacob's not very familiar with the race. He
Elrod's
sees
gonna
green,
hear.
thinks orc.
Elrod's gonna hear the word orc, assuming that someone had the gall to call him a fucking orc, and he is then going to place his other hand on Traston, try to pick him up as raging, and then throw him in that direction.
Traston, are
Hold
you
on, what?
resisting?
So he's gonna try to throw me by trap.
I'm gonna have to
scooping on
toss
my
ya.
traps and just hurling me.
Yes.
And I get the sense he's about to throw me and hit a motherfucker with another motherfucker.
You get the sense that that's his plan.
In an effort to atone, I do not resist.
Traston goes completely
And I get ready,
ragdoll.
and I go full into like fastball special mode where he's just throwing me and I'm still raging, and I'm just gonna go whatever I'm getting thrown at.
Oh, it's gonna hit Jacob. I know it.
I'm throwing him at full force. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Okay.
This might feel dumb.
What might feel dumb? What could you possibly purport or posit that could?
Yes.
So,
Situation.
as
What could
he's
you ever mean?
throwing him, can I telekinesis Traston and hold him there?
Just
I'd be wasting a
the
5th level
reaction.
spell slot, but
Let me see what the formalities are on telekinesis.
I hope it can. Just for
How
the
come
sake
every
of-
time we get a new character we fight?
we're a
I
mistrusting
don't know.
band of
it's the way I'm assuming it's called initiation.
Friends.
You have to do something weird.
it's hazing.
It's just how things go. The Traston throws a spear in my character's chest. My character not gonna be happy. He hear orc. He already very angry. He throw him instead.
Okay, so, yes, telekinesis would work. It would be your spellcasting mod versus his strength, unless Traston chooses to fail.
Well, I was just wondering, since he's already in the air,
Still an angry, raging man.
I'd just do it for the sake of formality if that's what you want to do.
yeah, I'm gonna do it. I just
Okay, so as
Make it save.
Elrid picks up his man rocket to chuck it at the general direction of
I
whoever dare call him an orc.
I just want Elrid as he's picking up fly true. Just start
Seeing
I know how
Traston
it
throw
feels
his
about being
spear
called an orc.
many times.
I am copying him to the fullest extent of my ability, and I'm also
Might punch him in the face.
oh my goodness! And also when I throw him, I'm gonna attempt to grab onto the chain of his spear so I can pull him back afterwards and throw him again.
I'm so pleased with this series of unfortunate events.
Okay, so
We all are
Traston rocket has launched. Corden,
incoming.
telekinesis. So, Traston,
Yeah,
give me
strength save.
a strength check. It's not even a save.
Strength check, okay.
Am I doing a strength check as well?
No.
That's an 18 for the first, and a 19 for the second. So 19.
Beats my save or my DC.
It's not a save.
You don't add proficiencies or anything. You just
Make an
add
ability
straight
check with
strength.
your spellcasting ability. So, roll a d20 and add
So-
9.
Yeah. His spellcasting thing.
It'd
His
be
spellcasting mod.
22.
Traston, as you are going full Crimson Chin on this shit, fist straight out, looking to punch the first motherfucker you see, which happens to be Jacob, you're killing your party as your fist gets within 3 inches of Jacob's face. You can see the white in Jacob's eyes as you just stop mid-air. So you pop your finger out and poke him in the eye.
Divine Smite. And because I'm raging,
One poke!
my attacks have Divine Fury, which means they deal an extra 1d6 radiant damage +1 to all attacks. Even
Jacob,
if
what are you looking like right now?
12 out of 73.
I will say, for the sake of not killing you in this instant,
Oh,
no,
now
I'm
that
not-
matters.
well, no,
Huh?
his is
in my
different
last
because
second level slot.
1, you have a larger pool, 2, you guys rested for about 3 hours and he was trancing, which technically counts as a long rest for him.
But not 4 hours. Let's see.
Hey, honestly, roll the damage.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. That was the wrong die.
Well, you did
I
say
just
that
rolled
this-
d10s. I'm like, I don't want to kill him.
Only to keep it fair for Elridge.
I mean, yeah, sure, that's
So-
fine.
For the Divine Fury, that was
You will die.
5. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, that was 5 points of Divine Fury damage. Radiant. And 27. Yeah, that was almost maximum die. For the 4d8. 27
Oh.
radiant for the Divine Smite. Real quick though, I'm gonna double check.
Just-
Okay, yeah. 27. Plus
Yeah,
5.
I'm down.
As your flick of death, as you're floating in the
Ah!
air. Last thing he was
Deku.
expecting was to get poked in the eye and blinded. In 2 ways, one with a light and the other with your finger, as he completely falls unconscious and Corden just staring at the tale of events that have just unfolded before him, as a man has gotten a spear in the chest and poked in the eye to death in the last 12 seconds.
Do I realize it was Jacob after the flick?
You do realize it was Jacob.
I'm gonna try to point my finger down to touch it because I'm like hovering in place. I'm gonna point my finger down and try to try to touch him to cast Cure Wound.
Poor Traston. Poor Traston. He's killed 2 party members in the span of just like a few minutes.
Dude, he's
As-
on fucking edge, dude.
As you reach down, you're kind of flailing back and forth, and your finger just barely grazes the leathers. But you're-
I have
you're-
to say, I have to say that I'm at this point just dumbfounded that even everybody's together, and I use healing word, and I say, "Get up, my friend. Bahamut says your time has not come."
So go ahead and roll your heal dice, Jacob. You're a
How
little
much do I-
disoriented because one of your
You
eyes
heal
is
6
very dark.
hit points.
Oh, great! I rolled a 1. Add another 4 onto that.
I still have 2 less than before.
As you are back up, because the light was so bright, it hasn't quite adjusted to the darkness yet. So one of your eyes can see really well, and the other one, it's a little dark.
I'm gonna
No.
use my last. No, fuck! I can't. Never mind. I'm out of second levels. I thought it was the first level. Never mind.
Traston, as you are floating in the air, you look up and you see
My rage
This-
is dropped.
another silhouette of what looks to be another elven-ish
Well, no, I
individual.
didn't cast a spell.
Just holding him.
When cure wounds, before cure, I drop rage and then cure wounds.
I just imagine
Okay.
like he's like, so when do I get to meet your friends? And then all this unfolds and it's just Traston holding frickin' Jacob in a headlock trying to get shove pushing. Oh, nice to meet you. He's just.
Hi. This doesn't happen often.
It doesn't happen often.
I feel like it happens too
Both
much.
your party members have knocked on Des' door at your hands.
Listen, can you just let me down? We can discuss this like gentlemen.
I'm not crushing you. I'm just holding you in the air.
I know I
I-
can't really move
I can-
my lips. It's hard to talk with my
You're just floating.
You can make sure you just drop him pretty hard, though, please.
I don't think the Lord would allow me to. Bahamut would allow me to hurt an individual like this. He
I
is
thought-
a man of
If I toss
divine protection, I thought, but
divine protection always means divine fury falls quickly, Sue.
as soon as he relays
I
the
don't
fact that
trust-
he's gonna
You're
drop
divine.
him. As soon as he relays he's gonna drop him like lightly, I grab a tiny pebble and throw it at the new guy just to try to break his concentration.
The pebble hits him.
she went upstairs.
Doesn't look like it was enough to break his concentration.
Grab a handful. Shotgun blast. Here we come.
Pocket sand.
Pocket sand.
Gordon, are you putting him down?
Yes, I'm putting him down.
As you reach for the second handful, you see Traston slowly descend onto the sand.
Target redirected to Traston. Shotgun blast. Go. No, I'm kidding. I'll just
take it.
Ting 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 ting.
He's just gonna go. Just drop the rocks.
Okay. So, we're all in this tiny hallway as two of
Rage-filled
you
room.
have fallen unconscious in this hallway. The death count rising ever so slightly.
And by the way, Elred, for the healing, that was 28. Oh, I'm sorry, 36.
I thought you were gonna talk. I thought you were actually talking to Elwood, and I thought you were gonna say you owe me 200 gold for that potion. Like, yep, okay.
Traston, you did sense Corden cast a divine-esque magic on Jacob to, keep him standing.
No, that shit was some hippie hut druid shit. I don't trust him. I'm just kidding.
Toss me again. Toss me again.
You'll have to toss me.
What does Jacob know about that god he talked about?
I don't know. You knocked unconscious for a second.
You know him as the Platinum Dragon. Most people who follow him are some divine class of sorts, or have a lawful good nature. They stick to the book, and they do what's right regardless of what other people think. Typically.
Oh. Yeah, Jacob's not gonna like you.
Typically.
That's okay. Typically.
There's always case-by-case basis. But he did save your life. So,
I saved his life with my brazen finger cure wound.
after you put him there,
True.
Just like you put the spear in
Mistakes were
Elric.
made. Mistakes were made.
Is Traston still on the ground?
yes, he is currently prone at the moment, but so
Jacob's
are you.
gonna lean down, and he's gonna scoot over. He's like, "We're gonna have a talk about this one. We shouldn't be fighting." Kind of being sarcastic because Traston did the same thing to him.
Just
I stand up and dust myself off. Now, let's slow it down here. I think I speak for everyone when I might have jumped the gun just a tad. I apologize for any outward or untoward aggression that you might have felt in your direction. In the case of this here situation, I believe there no harm, no foul. Okay? There's no bodies to clean up. There's not the damage has been done and the damage has been reversed for the most part.
Elwood's still bleeding a little bit because the potion he gave him does not nearly cover the amount of health.
So the potion plus 35, because I dumped all my lay on hand.
Plus 35. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So 36 plus 35.
36. I think you said 26.
No, 36 for the potion. 35 for my entire lay on hands pool.
Okay. Much better.
Now, I would like to say this, while it has become an occurrence that is increasing repetition, does not happen every day per se. It's just in the group of data of the past 2 days. It's been 100% of both of the days. Both the days have been, you know what? In the grand scheme, hi, my name's Traston. Nice to meet you. What's your name? Traston Rance. I'm sorry, I always forget the second part.
My name is Corden Acer.
Off my hand out and.
Do you take his hand?
I take his hand because I don't really feel like he
Grab him important.
didn't mean it.
Is his hand covered in blood from where he's pulled the spear out? He's poked eyeballs out.
Crack the fucking skull with my flick.
I mean,
with the blood, but
just as he reaches his hand up. Oh,
this is the non-flick hand. I take your hand and give it a good firm single shake. Where do you come from, Corden? You're from around here in the Whispering Sands here?
No, I happen to be brought here.
Whispering Desert? Brought here. What brought you here? Work, pleasure, business?
You could say it's work.
I have to say not a whole lot of leisure activities out here, per se. Just some simple folk living their simple lives. Now, what kind of work, might I ask? You don't have to get into super specifics if you're not super comfortable. Just give me like the high level lay down, hoedown of what you do, what you're doing here.
Well, our accord, as I was telling Jacob before, we had this scene of many deaths upon us, I believe.
Always a good pastime?
Not really.
That was sarcasm.
Yes, I know. The something brings me here that there might be a hidden entity that I have come to cleanse, per se.
Insight check.
Being
I'm
truthful?
like Traston is
Non-truthful.
on guard. He's like any of the fourth that are in or around here. He wants to just probe and poke at and figure out.
Okay. Insight and Corden, you're being truthful.
Yep.
26. All Alrighty. Well, do you have any other colleagues in and around the area? You're just out here hoofing on your lonesome.
I have other colleagues in probably other areas, but I am currently alone in this area.
Gordon, what was your persuasion? Beck.
My persuasion?
Yes.
I just
Yeah, persuasion versus insight.
11.
Okay. So, Traston, after he says he's here looking for a hidden entity, you can definitely tell he's being truthful. He seems to be withholding some information, whether it's because it's personal, or possibly a different deity, or it's something he's not supposed to talk about. But you're not quite sure.
And does he have a hood up?
You still have your hood up, right?
No. My hood's down.
Okay.
Been down.
So I can see your ears. So.
Or did we go by the fire so we all can, congregate?
I would assume you drug each other's bodies over there.
Jacob's not sitting by the fire.
Well, into the room where the fire is located, not necessarily near it. Where there is some illumination so you guys can see each other's faces. So, continue.
Well, that's all the questions I had. We were just kind of sheltering down for the sandstorm. We were headed
As
out
am
to the northeast.
If you don't mind, what entity are you going after?
That's a good question, Jacob. What entity are you going after?
What entity am I after?
Right, is it this entity have a name or a purpose? A root, evil, a pseudonym, a sobriquet?
I guess if I was looking for an entity to be the one to vanquish, it would be the worshippers of Tiamat, her, that I would be worried about myself.
Ah, I understand. Now, would I know if Tiamat had any ties to the first in any way, shape, or form?
Yes, the documentations you found in that rundown
Was directly,
warehouse
yeah.
with the Lich specifically said Tiamat was the leader of the first.
Yeah, I figured. Now, Corden, do you have a last name too, or just Corden?
Lacer.
Cordon bleu.
Everyone's getting fancy up in here except for Elrid. Well, he's never mind. Have you heard tell or in passing mention of a group known as the First? Cultish, little aggressive toward other folk.
I can't say anything about knowing anything about a first. I just know them as the worshippers.
Now, do you know about the Nine? Have you heard anything about the Nine, or are you on the in the know of the Nine? To know.
I do not know this 9 you speak of.
Okay, well that's going to be a discussion for later. It appears to me, with your goal being to now, is your objective to slay Tiamat, and if so, is she here? Like, has there been like sightings around the Whispering Desert for her? Or are you just gathering information more so?
I don't think she is necessarily here on this plane yet, because if she was, there'd be
It'd be a problem.
much
Yeah.
chaos. But as of right now, it's just to make sure she doesn't continue to gain power, and to find the friends that I have grew up with in my times growing up. So
Okay. I'm gonna give it my best senior manager BS impression and go. Well, it looks to me here that we are aligned, and I want to make sure that we stay that way in our goals here, because you seem a fancy lad. I never seen nobody hold anybody up in the air like you did with me. Now, given I was in an angry and aggressive state, and I apologize, that won't happen. So long as you keep your intentions relatively pure. So, the quick and dirty version here is the 9 is like a large, big old cult with a bunch of different other cults that make it up. And one of them is the first, and the leader of the first just so happens to be Tiamat, and we're actually out here looking for members of the fourth to a personal vendetta to reprieve. So, what do you say to that? Does that sound like something that might assist you in your studies?
if it's delaying Tiamat's return to this world and protecting others, I don't see why I wouldn't accompany with you. With the information I know, that's probably why they can travel the desert without too much problem. They're working together.
Well, that's all the questions I had. If Elred or Jacob, you guys have any questions, or Corden, you yourself, my friend, if you have any questions as well, shoot.
No,
I guess-
I had a brief conversation with him when I came in. When I came out, there was a spear in my chest. No further questions are needed.
I don't know how that happened. I'm sorry, that was my
So
fault. I didn't mean to.
Is
try
Elward going to be wary of corners now?
Just the flying spears with divine purpose for Alward's heart.
Does Jacob know if Tiamat and Mask would have been friends, as like gods would be friends, I guess?
From your knowledge, you never heard him speak. Basically, you've never heard them spoke of in the same sentence. You've heard Tiamat and their stories and the Mask and their stories, but you've never heard anything connecting the two of them together.
Okay.
Being I've seen Traston's divine energy. So, what is your purpose? I believe Paladin is what you are?
You could call it Paladin, I guess. I like to think of myself as just a servant to Morden, delivering his fury and his love in its own way.
Do I recall anything about Morden?
You're aware Morden is essentially the god of the forge. It's a very large smithing area where they take care of their equipment. They do praise to Morden by maintaining what was given to them by Morden. That's really about all you know, since most of your time was dedicated towards Bahamut and his other
Well, I
subordinates.
just didn't know if Bahamut would probably be around those that are similar to or respect those of the similar nature.
You haven't heard of any beef between Bahamut and
Morden.
Morden. Whether or not they treat it that way, obviously everybody has their little spats. Well, all of you looking pretty worse for wear, aside from Corden, who prepared pretty well for this sandstorm. guys were kind of caught off guard. What would you guys like to do?
Elrod's still brooding over the fact that he had a spear in his chest.
Okay.
Jacob's trancing in the corner.
Okay.
I'm gonna kind of like slump down and
Just look defeated. I've killed 2 of my party members today. I gotta get a hold of myself.
reflect on my mistakes and where my head's at.
Okay.
Elred, you I'm sorry. Man, listen. I got a lot on my mind, and that's no excuse. But there's been a lot I'm trying to keep track of, and demons, so to speak, I'm trying to keep kind of under control here with the sensitivity of the situation we're in and what we're doing here.
Elrod's just gonna kind of nod his head silently, starting to calm down from, being raged, dying a little bit, and then coming back. He's gonna not even look over him. It's fine. I know all too well the urges you get to act first and think later.
Especially, like, now, I usually try to at least give it some thought, unless I'm really in that headspace, which obviously tonight I was. Or this morning I was, I should say. And again, that's no excuse.
It's
with
fine.
everything going on, and us being out here looking for, with all sense of the word, filth of a man whose actions caused a great deal of strife, especially in my younger years. Were directly associated with that. I kind of lost sight of the ball, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what it is. I've just been on edge a lot more than I'd like to admit. A lot more than I usually am.
Again, it's fine. Especially being out here and knowing that the person you hate the most is out here with us. I can't be too angry at you for acting out on that impulse. Although I would prefer it if you threw something a little less speary next time for your first throw.
I'll try to keep that in mind. Thank you, Elred.
Yes. And then Elrod's just gonna start going to sleep.
I'm gonna just slump down and take about an hour just looking up at the ceiling of this cave until I finally pass out.
Okay. And Corden, are you doing the same? I'll take the silence as he has already fallen asleep. So.
No, I'm here.
Are you laying down to nap?
I'm going to pull out one of the books that I've gotten from the academy that I went to and start reading it. It's a ritual book that I've been working on and kind of poking around with. Haven't really learned how to do anything with it yet. But then I'm going to kind of trance or meditate as I'm doing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
The 3 individuals who have just kind of made their way into their room, I assume, Jacob, you're doing this. You said you were trancing, right?
Yes.
The 3 individuals who have just wandered into your cave have taken up residence and decided to sleep without asking.
I assume by the time I did pass out, like even after that hour, the sandstorm's still raging.
Yep, it's still going. A couple hours later, Gordon, you and Jacob seem to be the only ones awake at the moment. It sounds like the sandstorm is starting to die down. You don't hear that wailing wind. But it looks as though Elred and Traston are still passed out. Jacob, you've had a quote-unquote full rest, so you can take your long rest.
Okay.
Gordon, I mean, it is what it is. You can stay awake or you can go to sleep for the next couple hours.
Yeah, I kind of would try to get the spell slots that I wasted previously.
A couple more hours pass. Gordon, Jacob, you pretty much don't hear anything from the sandstorm, as Elred and Traston have now fully awakened from their slumber. 6 a.m. as you guys kind of peek down the tunnel way there. You start to see some natural light kind of flooding in, mostly from the hole that was dug almost straight up into this tunnel way. So, what would you guys like to do?
I just would look over at Traston and Jacob and say, "Wonder what happened to Anna."
Yeah, I was hoping, now that it's at least cleared up a bit, to head out and start looking. I told her and Neptune to put the carpet down, but we had to get down.
In all fairness, do we have time to look for Anna when we need to find that person?
This comes first. I yesterday kind of put things in perspective. I've waited long enough. I can wait a little bit more. We lose them, but there's not a whole lot to go on anyway. So it's not like we have fresh tracks we're trying to follow, especially after a sandstorm. Whatever was there is gone. We're basically going to be making a guess at this point.
Knowing how Anna is and how she feels about the cult, how she knows you guys feel about it, you can make the assumption she's probably heading directly for their base, or where she expects their base to be, which the information you guys gathered in Landrasil said it's somewhere west-northwest in the desert.
Right.
She's probably making the assumption that you guys are going to head that direction and hopefully end up there if anything's found out. Neptune probably trailing.
Just
along
leave us
with
behind, going gung-ho. Mother. Okay.
Either that or looking for some booze out in the desert.
This is
One
also
of the
true.
two.
Cactus juice.
Oh no.
So, Elred and Traston can make that assumption. Jacob, you don't quite know her well enough.
Yeah, Jacob doesn't really care about anyone, so...
And Gordon, you're up to you whether or not you want to continue following this group or not. They seem to be a ragtag bunch of fuckheads from short interactions.
No, I'm good. They're a little too crazy.
Next time I'll figure out rare spells for such an occasion.
Fireball.
Oh, you don't want to see my fireball.
I'd rather not see it, please.
Fireball.
As it starts dropping trow and you start to see a flame.
Jacob hides.
Okay, so sun is just peeking out in the east. It seems to be a little cooler than it was yesterday. Probably because the sun hasn't completely engulfed the desert at this time. There's still kind of a bit of the natural shade from the dawn of the new day. So, pick your poison. Where are you going?
I think we should head to. I think it was the northwest, right?
Yeah. At least that
I think
was
we
the
should.
instructions that you guys got from Landerson.
Our best lead is the northwest. If you want to go find Anna, we can do that. Might be a waste of time trying to find her in the desert without tracks.
He's probably right. So since chasing something we can't track. Plus we have another one of these strays that we have to look after.
Alrighty. So, who's driving the carpet? Because I have no idea what the hell I'm doing.
Can we fit 4 people on that carpet?
Yeah, that's the large carpet.
Okay. I can try to drive.
So,
Get packed up and head out.
you guys start heading in the westerly direction. You fly for 2-3 hours. Elred, Traston, Corden, give me perception checks.
Nope. 6.
2!
9.
Natural 2 plus 4.
6, 2, and 9. Where was this in
Not perception.
combat?
There'd be dead people.
I see.
Kinda
In combat, we roll natural 20s on in the dark spear throws and skull fracturing flicks.
I would say I see dead people, but Elra doesn't see shit. He barely can tell that he's even there.
You guys start to kind of wave Bob up and down, trying to look for anything that may signify that somebody was in the area recently. Corden, you pick up on a couple of tracks. Looks to be one set of footprints continuing in that direction, and then they suddenly stop.
Hmm.
Like somebody kind of stopped to take a break and then kind of recuperate and make their way, continuing into the northwesterly direction.
Knowing the information that I know, the spot I'm looking for is to the west, isn't it?
West-northwest.
Or is it-
yeah.
It's generally in this. It's
Based off their
kind of in the same
descriptions
direction.
of what they've kind of provided on the direction they're heading, it's more than likely the same thing you're looking for, since they've kind of correlated Tiamat with the first, which is one of the people that they're after.
Okay.
Up to you to share that information or keep it to yourself.
So far, keeping it to myself.
You guys continue heading in that northwesterly direction. About another hour later, you see a very large opening into the sands. Looks to be probably 30 feet in diameter, almost a complete. Looks like one of the holes that the worm dug previously. But this one's much larger, roughly 3 times the size of the one that you guys were in. You guys look closer to the edge and crest of this tunnel. See a bunch of footprints by the entrance that look to be kind of pacing over themselves. Keep stepping on these tracks back and forth, contemplating whether or not that they should go in. So.
We just saw tracks. We didn't see a person doing that.
You didn't see a person, you just see the disturbance in the sand.
Would I be able to tell from these tracks whether it was Anna, like the boots she was wearing or anything like that? Or around that size?
You can give me a survival check with disadvantage just because it's sand. It doesn't maintain a shape.
Yep. Let me see.
Traston, do you know if that worm thing we fought, if they can be big like this hole?
18.
Get that in
I mean, what I know about these worms?
You've heard of legends of a giant sandworm that roams through this whispering desert. The main point of this worm and the reason for the legend is it's almost completely silent.
Oh no.
Does the legend state that there's a bigger one, or like, because I saw the dead one outside, right?
You saw the dead one. You're not aware of the legend of this continent.
Okay.
Far off
I
the
guess
beaten
I could have
path.
been aware of that.
You've heard of a giant worm, but you thought the last one was giant.
I'm from these parts.
We thought that one was bad. Wait till you meet his friend.
We are from the same continent, sir.
His name's Bill. He's an Alaskan bullworm.
He's got some glasses.
It's an Alaskan bullworm!
So, Elred, looking at the tracks, they seem to be relatively the same size as Anna's footprints that you saw previously, since you were following behind her at the beginning of this adventure into the desert.
Okay.
It looks like she may have been waiting for somebody or something, but decided to head in to see if she may have been the one behind or what.
Okay. I'm just gonna look at the other two, or three, and then I'm just gonna say, I can't be sure, but these tracks look around the same size as what Anna's boot sleeve. It's really rough to tell, but it looked like she was waiting for a while. Maybe thought we were already inside and then decided to go in. There's no way to know for sure, though.
Fucking.
Jacob's gonna lower the cart down there.
The cart.
Okay.
Carpet.
The cart.
Lower the cart!
pit.
Lower the cart, hey.
Lower the
Hey.
cart!
Ah, woofta.
Ah!
Okay, so as you descend down to the ground to enter the cave, it's very dark in this cave, so light source would be recommended for those. You cannot see any breakpoints. It's tunnel itself. It's just pitch dark as far as the eye can see.
Let me see if I have any torches. Actually, I don't remember if I have any left.
I take out my dagger,
Okay.
say the magic word, and it boom and lights on fire.
Okay, do you want to continue to hold it?
Yes, but reluctantly.
You see Jacob just holding out his hand straight ahead with this flaming dagger in front of him.
Isn't that kind of hot?
It looks like
Just-
it might get pretty toasty in there.
Yeah, just don't remind me. We needed light. I got light.
I mean, it looks.
There are
yeah,
easier ways to acquire light. I assume. I mean, I don't.
I have an idea. I'll go stand in the darkness, Traston. I'll step on something creaky. You throw your spear. I'll light up like a fucking candle.
I don't want to repeat.
Traston.
And make sure you don't throw a spear at Anna this time.
Yeah, I can't save you from her if you save her.
No, I don't know if you'll. You're pretty durable. She is too, but I don't know to what extent.
Okay. So, with a light source from a dagger, you guys make your way in.
We're on our way.
Heading in.
This is the end of my only friend.
Excuse me. Heading in apprehensively.
I assume the rest of you will follow.
Yes.
Is Jacob bleeding since he has the fire, or no?
More than likely.
Okay.
So, as you guys make your way in, this tunnel goes deep. Doesn't seem to be a steep incline, but the tunnel itself is very long in nature. Travel half hour. Very few changes of scenery. Another half hour. You start to see along the edges of the tunnel where you did used to see like packed sand that was tight. You start to see more of a sandstone carved out in almost a perfect circle. Knowing the sandworms, they can't eat through rock. It takes a little more time, but it is pretty common for them to eat through solid rock, which seems to have happened in this instance. And as you continue forward even further, you see almost what looks like a light, almost completely illuminating the opening that's there. The light's so bright in contrast to the darkness that you're in that it's almost completely blinding, like you can't see past it. And as you guys make your way to the end of this tunnel, do you want to proceed further?
Jacob's walking.
Okay.
He's
Light
heading
source.
in, heading on a fucking swivel, ears open.
Be
Light
ready for the
source.
next ally.
Yeah, exactly.
Source in hand. You guys walk into this what's seemingly well lit, almost blindingly light. As you walk in, hear the loud sound of rushing waterfall, almost like waterfalls, as they come into view. To both your right and left, you see these towering waterfalls, almost 1,000 feet high each, as water's just flowing into these what look like lakes on both sides of you, surrounded by what looks to be a cobblestone surrounding, kind of blocking off the entrances into the lake itself. Kind of a barrier. In front of you, you see this what looks like a golden brick road, just solid golden, what look like ingots, basically stones that are laid out in this fashion, almost like a complete pattern. And then off into the distance, you see this immense stone temple. These hand-carved pillars, almost 300-400 feet tall. There's about 6 of them, 3 on each side, and then you see the opening with a marble staircase, and on that marble staircase you see Anna making her way into the temple. And that's where we'll pick up next week.
Okay.
Motherfucker.
Wow.
My only question is, are there pilots in the temple?
There may be, there might not be. How many of them are alive?
21.
21.
No, but there are queens in there. Of the Stone Age.
So, fun, no fun.
It was fun.
Diggy hole.
I now understand
Diggy
that I
hole.
should never. I now understand that I should never fight Traston in any kind of battle royale. His
Yeah.
senses are sharp, and his spear flies true.
His spear is sharper.
As atonement for Traston will view this as an opportunity for atonement and will not resist.
That was the best part. He's just like, you know what? I had this coming. See you guys. See you guys later.
You used
sure
100% of your power in that one finger to flick me, though.
Sure did.
I wasn't even my final form.
So, we'll wrap it up here. We'll pick this up again next week.
Ultra Instinct Traston.
Music
Full
you
Cal
hear
Traston.
is brought to you by Tabletop Audio. If you liked what you
They're
listened to or watched today, go ahead and hit the like or subscribe or follow button, whatever platform you're viewing this on. And check in next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.